Live from the new Loki studio for this Thursday, the 13th of June, it's Back Pocket. Brought to you as always by our majestical and memorable Back Pocketeer patrons. This week starring Steph Ben Dixon. I'm freaking out a little bit.
Why?
Don't choke.
Gus Ronald. Good things ahead. Good things ahead. Ruby Innes.
Let's shake your head. Yeah, let's do it. It's for charity.
It's not charity.
And Peter Burns.
Oh no, another vehicle's driving us. Oh, they're mating.
And behind the scenes, as always, it's Josh, Will, and Ben. This week on the show, we get Summer Game Festy and some very good gameplay because, you know what? We've earned it. Now get ready. It's time for Back Pocket.
You fucking
Welcome to Back Pocket, live from our new studio. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday. We are feeling fresh. We are feeling new. We're feeling pretty tired actually because it's been a strenuous week, but we finally freaking made it. And you found us, even though it's the same address for them. It's a different address for us.
It's true.
It's not finished yet.
The internet never. It's not finished yet. It is still under construction.
It's pretty close.
It's pretty close.
It looks really good.
I feel like it's like liminal space.
We have a bit of a void.
Yeah, I was about to say
liminal,
there is
liminal
a-
space. Edition,
Yep.
yeah.
There is
Yeah.
a void. There is a void that we could just get sucked into at any moment.
This this space is a green cyclorama. If people want to look up what a cyclorama is.
We're not just saying it's
but-
green.
Psych!
Lorama.
The wall and the ground meet at a curve, so the light can be nice and smooth across all
But
of
yeah,
it.
it is bright green.
But it is green without these lights
I
on.
can't believe you made it look so not green just with lighting.
That's what I thought. I was like,
You've seen a
what
colour wheel before. You
incarnation?
just go to the opposite colour and it cancels it out. That's how
Yeah,
colour
but
works.
So why isn't it grey?
You've seen a colour wheel before.
But also, that's blue, and the opposite of blue is orange. So your theory sucks, Gus.
Suck your theory, Gus.
I never said I finished art.
I never passed colour theory.
Started it.
It's just a theory anyway.
I'm more practical
A
than
colour
theory, I'll
theory.
be
Yeah,
it's a
honest.
colour
Yeah. But yeah, we are in our new digs. We're settled enough to have a back pocket show for you guys tonight. So yeah, we thought we may as well we have to get things going. That's how we get this place up and running. We just have to make a show in it, and eventually everything will fall into place, which is the idea.
Yeah.
We opted not to do a rundown of the show tonight, and we opted for chaos mode.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
What Steph's talking about there is we have no idea what's about to happen.
Yeah.
We have a script in front of us.
A slight
Just
script,
like a beat.
but
beats.
it's new chaos. It's not the old studio
No, this
chaos.
is special
It's
chaos.
Special,
it's fresh, like current, very hip chaos.
You guys smell
Anything's
that? Get that
probable.
new studio scent?
Oh yeah.
It's good.
Steph, look who's in chat. Tom Hummer.
Oh my
Hey.
goodness.
Stick around, Tom. You'll
get a
be
shout
relevant
out.
soon.
Yeah.
I just want to make it clear you're not relevant right now.
There is
At the moment,
there
but
was
soon
How
you will be
sad.
relevant.
there is a message in the company Slack from Stephanie saying, "Josh, please play this Tom Hammathy video tonight on the show."
Is that what your car said?
Wait, hang on.
Isn't that what happened?
Spoilers.
I'm spoiling things already. I apologize.
Again.
New
How?
studio.
How?
Same old spoilers.
Same old spoiler
I
guys.
don't understand how that happened.
It's just what I do.
I was really worried that when we'd get a new studio, suddenly everything would change and everyone would be different. So that was actually really heartwarming.
this
and,
is still
and
painful.
You feel right at
Yeah.
home now.
I feel right at home and I feel very angry.
The rest of the show is new, but same old as well. So it's going to feel comforting, hopefully, for you guys at home in the audience. We've got a good show lined up for you guys tonight. We've got heaps to talk about because there's been heaps of games to be talked about over the last 2 weeks while we've been missing. So there's that to get through. We're going to play some games as well. We're just going to let the end of the show just be a warm blanket, like a warm gaming blanket that we just pull over ourselves and enjoy.
It definitely feels like because it's a bigger space, we feel further away from each other, and you have to fill there's a lot of air to fill with your voice.
Hang on a minute. Hang on.
It's so
Peter
far
still
away.
gets up and fucking runs off in the middle of it.
Did you enjoy the parrot video?
Are you
that I
going
sent
full?
you?
Hang on.
'Cause I have a pink hoodie that makes me look just like that.
That specific breed of parrot is so cute.
Bye.
That's the camera getting bored of you.
Bye.
Look at that.
So
Wow.
So liminal.
So spacious.
It's okay. I was trying to follow it.
And
got very confused.
Hi.
Welcome back.
It's also very cold.
That's chat.
I had
Hi,
a-
chat.
I had a great
There's
shirt
chat-
to wear, but I can't take my jumper.
Over winter, I think it's nicer to be able to rug up during the show in here. So we just need to remember for future winter shows to bring out a funky jacket or
Some
some
of us
bit
have
of flair.
like sweet guns we need to show
Some
off.
of us.
you know?
Yeah, like Steph and I.
Some of us are pretty warm because they're still with us, but they're up in the warm part of the studio.
Let's see the warm studio.
Let's see the warm part of the studio. Josh, you there? Hello.
It's pretty warm. It's pretty warm up here, yeah.
And Will, always looking warm in your knitted goods.
I saw that jumper this morning and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
That's some Pedro
Those two
Pascal
could be
energy.
back in the old studio.
You know?
They literally look like
We
they're
are.
still
We're
there.
not here
Yeah,
right now.
they're the same. Like Will's arms haven't been uncrossed since he
looks
was
just
last
as
on
mildly
camera behind
unentertained
Josh.
as usual.
Yeah.
Though we have a control room now upstairs, so Josh is up there pressing buttons, but his voice of God still comes through down here. So
It does, yeah.
Laugh for us, Josh.
Shut up, God.
Give us a good laugh.
With the mic on or off?
On. On.
Okay.
Whoa, that was crazy. It didn't
Why
even
did you
look
do
like
a
it was
weird
coming from
laugh?
you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just do a normal Josh.
No.
laugh.
You made me
That's it.
force it. You didn't say anything funny.
That's true.
Also,
we got
Aaron
True.
unlocked us asked, are you still using the same cameras? We are, but
Yeah.
it does look better.
No, it looks exactly the same.
No,
It's the-
it looks
you know what,
better.
No, it's the light.
depth
It's
as
the
well.
lights.
It's
Depth helps.
Yeah, the
There's
lights
more,
and the
there's
depth.
more depth.
I
That
think-
Depth
helps.
makes the background blurry, which makes us sharper on camera.
I was
not
never a
in
fan
room.
of the
It
big
separates
ball.
us a lot from.
No, I didn't like the
big
ball
ball
either.
scares me.
Chandelier.
Yeah.
And I kept
Never
hitting my
into
head
it.
on it.
I just didn't like it.
It's great. It was perfect. This is
No.
not quite right yet. But
I
it's almost
mentioned that I liked
is
it not being
perfect
here
to
too,
me.
and he got a bit grumpy. So I don't think. Don't.
It
But you
was-
mentioned it for a
was-
weird
it was an
reason.
it was an
You were like,
instruction.
you were
defensive.
like, so I could stand here now. It's like, yeah.
We used to hit our heads when we stood there.
Yeah.
We
Correct.
did.
We did,
Sometimes
it's
we would
true.
we would want to do fun,
Jump.
crazy stuff, and
Look
we
at him
couldn't.
go.
All good.
Yeah.
No big
Or
ball.
even just a simple.
He's sitting on a pillow.
Even just a simple. Oh wow.
Feels good.
Amazing.
Feels
Incredible.
good.
You can stand up.
You
and it's
can.
fine.
If you really want to make a point, you can be like, and that's what I think.
Yeah.
But the cut's a little late, so it's
you
just
can-
mainly
yeah.
torso.
Bye.
But yeah,
Yeah.
new studio, same old show. A few things to shout out as well before we get in. Happy International Community Day Manager. Happy International Community
Those
Manager.
are all the correct words in the just completely wrong orders.
Let me try that again. Happy International Community Manager Day, everyone, particularly to our community manager, Ben. Big shouts out and applause for them back at home doing all the work. But it is apparently International Community Manager Day.
Yeah. And those of you who were at the town hall on Monday.
Oh boy, did they manage that community
Oh, it was
well.
Tuesday. It was Tuesday night.
Tuesday, yeah.
would have seen. Yeah, well, absolutely would have seen just a small part of the magic that Ben weaves for us in the community. Ben is amazing. It's sad that Ben cannot be here, and we've really neglected Ben over the last 2 weeks while we've been moving and just not communicating at all on Slack. And I'm like, you're just missing.
We sent a
meetings
photo
and-
of the new studio, like, it's done, here. Put this out.
Ben was like, "You guys are moving," but yeah, cannot wait to have them up into the space.
The new space. There is room now.
There's
There
plenty
is
of Ben
ample
room
room.
now.
Yeah.
So no, thank you for all the work that they've put into this as well. That's about everything. Steph, you have a clip?
Yes,
That
I
I
have.
ruined?
I have a Tom Hamamathy clip. This just made me laugh this morning, and so I just wanted to share it with everyone. It's my show and tell.
Please.
Tom Hair Mama Thee said, "This looks amazing." Do you want to reply?
No.
Oh, good.
Sometimes
Sometimes.
when I message you, I get messages from you back, and I'm like, is this like terse and short because you're driving, or just
Yep.
because it's you?
Sometimes my voice to text works seamlessly.
Yeah.
And it like puts in punctuation that I wouldn't. I'm like, amazing. And then other times it does not work at all.
Well, that's the tea. Is like I've had friends message me from their car and like become a completely different person, and I'm like, this bitch
It's like
is
wrapping your head in
mad.
compression.
I get
Yeah,
stage fright
yeah.
as I start dictating the text because I get halfway through it and I panic and I
get-
start saying like, no, wait, scrap this, forget it. And so then she reads it back and she's
Yeah.
like, your text to Michael says, looking forward to seeing you. Wait, no, forget this. I'll send it another. Oh, shush. Okay, wait one moment.
To be fair, you get stage fright when just typing.
The problem I can't do it because the
You were a constant Gus's typing
I
person.
type exactly the way I speak with all of the filler words and stuff
And then you're
because
like, Pete, come and read this for me. Which is totally fine. I'm like, it could be terser and shorter.
You could be more mean.
It could be grumpy and from a car. All right, well, we should crack on because we've got a lot of show to get through, and we'll do that the normal way we always do with a little bit of backup.
It's a little bit of backup where we back it up and see what's been happening in the week, and it is brought to us by Reese Wild.
Oh,
That's
crack that
right.
whip.
Reese whip.
And I'm trying to think of a relation. You whip like a what animal
Whip
do
bird.
You whip wild creatures to tame them.
Yeah, which I don't like.
Whipbird. There.
That was
That was terrible.
perfect.
That was really
Both of us
solid.
nailed it.
Wait,
I can't whistle, so
I spat all over everything.
when I do a whip bird impression, it goes, ooh, pew.
It was closer than what we did.
That was actually better.
but with Reese Wild, we get Reese to send us a clip of a sound of the wild.
Which next week will be that noise.
Which
I'm
next week
certain
will
of it.
probably-
He already has that, like me doing that on a soundboard in
There you go.
Discord.
Oh, that's incredible.
It's not my first time doing whip bird impression,
This
you
ain't
guys.
my
Come
first.
My first rodeo of Whipbird. But we're going to listen and guess what it is. So, Josh, take us to the wild.
That's a seabird.
Having sex with another seabird and then finishing.
There was some snuffling there that threw me off.
I think
but
that was
you're
just
right.
wind in a
that,
mic.
that did sound like a seabird, didn't it?
I think it's
Seabird-esque.
I think it's a puffin.
I think we're...
A puffin.
No.
Can we
Very
get,
specific.
for the sake of it, Josh, can we
It's
get
no
one?
albatross, that's for sure.
It's no albatross. We'll get one more listen, please, if that's all right.
Sure.
Bit of wind at the top.
It did sound like a squeaky dog toy.
It does sound like a squeaky toy now. It sounds like a
Oh, you
It's-
can see
oh,
the
it's
mouth
gonna
of
be
a
a
dog.
dog.
animal getting bored chewing.
It's going to be a dog
That's why it's
chewing on
slowing
a
down,
squeaky
yeah.
toy, isn't it? It's a trick. We've been tricked again.
It is a Rottweiler killing a penguin.
Okay.
Is it a puffin? That was your guess, so I get to guess now.
Nope, wrong. You said it and you stole my answer. So I think it's a seagull being ridden by an itty bitty monkey. And they're okay.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Maybe if I kept explaining it, then it would have
You
been
could
right.
have gotten closer, yeah.
All right, Steph, how about you?
I'm going to
Benny.
say baby penguin.
Ooh. Now I want to see a baby penguin, though. That's the
Alright.
problem.
It's not a. I will say it's not a joke one. He's
not-
gonna, you know.
All right.
It's not a joke one.
Put us out of our misery, Josh.
Fuck off.
No.
No way.
Are you
Someone said
kidding?
llama. It's just their little nostrils.
That is an alpaca.
That's
but
an
it-
alpaca
No,
with nossies.
No, so actually, because the first time I heard like a deer sound was when I was in the deer park in Nara, and they make a really high pitched squeaky
They
sound
do
like
do
that.
the squeakies.
Yeah, and I
I
guess
half
they kind
expected
of
it to
they're
zoom
kind
out
of
and there's
related.
just a seagull on its back. And I was like, that makes more sense.
And then a little monkey
And then
on
a
the back
monkey
of the
riding
seagull.
the
tiny
seagull.
monkey on a large
Is it
seabird.
marmoset, the tiny ones?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
That's
A
what I'm
marmoset
thinking
on an albatross.
But that
you
was
remember- do
that
you
was the
remember-
alpaca seeing a deer and having
Yeah.
like a weird reaction of like a
That's so
kind of threatening
crazy.
but adorable.
Yeah, I think I was just excited. Do you remember Perry Grip? Chimpanzee riding on a Segway. Great song.
All I
should
know is
Google it.
baby monkey.
Oh yeah,
Baby
baby
monkey.
monkey. Yeah,
Right.
baby
Yeah.
monkey.
Yeah.
And that's in everyone's head now, and you're very welcome.
segment.
Yeah, I've just never heard of that in my life. But I
Baby
didn't.
monkey?
Yeah.
You know all the weird dumb shit. How do you not know
We're
baby
watching the
monkey?
post show.
Yeah, let's watch it in the post show.
I'm gonna show you right now.
I love to learn.
It's early internet.
yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, it's early internet.
It's like Lemon Demon type era, or
There it is.
What the fuck
Don't
are
know
you
what the
talking
fuck
about?
that is.
it's Neil Caesarea.
What the fuck is lemon
saying
demon?
words.
No,
Are you
that's what
serious?
Caesarea
Okay,
is.
whatever. Anyway, jeez Louise. So
Who is 4chan anyway?
So this little bit of backup. It's a little. It's a bit of sad news.
Okay.
Because League of Geeks, who they came around think it was around lockdown time, around COVID. Really amazing studio coming out of Melbourne. They're the reason for a lot of Melbourne game devs kind of getting their start and then moving on to do other stuff, which is really cool. They've always taken a chance on young developers, which is great. I hype all this up to...
Yeah, I was going to say, this sounds great.
Yeah, hype all this up to then say that unfortunately they announced the other day that they're going into hibernation for the foreseeable future and may not be back. They were behind Armello. They were behind... so Armello is a board game... What's a digital board game. It's becoming a real board game. But they were behind Armello, behind Jumplight Odyssey, which unfortunately never got a full release, and behind Solium Infernum, which did get a full release earlier this year and had stellar reviews.
Yeah.
People, like, it is still on, I think, PC Gamer's top 10 PC games of 2024, if not of all time. Like, it did really well, but according to the heads of the studio, it didn't do well enough financially.
Yeah.
That's so often the case. Like,
yeah,
that's so tough. And so because they announced quite a few layoffs earlier as well, and I saw a lot of people kind of. I know when a studio announces a lot of layoffs, people tend to kind of lay into the studio for it because a lot of the time it's a big company that is just trying to like cut corners and save money, or they'll hire a bunch of people and promise them job security and then let them go. And I don't think that was the situation here.
It was a really interesting case of when that wasn't it? Because that was earlier or late last year. It was late last year after the release of Jumplight Odyssey into early access, and
Which we talked about on the show. I think you guys, you both played it at one
Yeah, I
point.
played Jumplight. Yeah,
And like the quality, again, none of this is a reflection on the quality of the games they've been making in terms of both Solium Inferno and Jumplight Odyssey and Armello. Like both from like just an artistic, but to a creative game design. Like everything that was coming out of there was fantastic, or that was being distributed by them. And so, it's just a case of, I guess, marketing mixed with how you need that hype train to run. But sorry, I interrupted you. Were saying
No, it's okay. Well, with Jumplight Odyssey, it released into early access, and it had issues, and it had issues that the team were aware of and were eager to fix, but the issues kind of resulting in bad reviews, which then resulted in even though it was in early access, people kind of not having faith in it meant that it didn't do as well as it could have, which then resulted in them announcing that they literally just didn't have the funds to continue developing Jumplight Odyssey, which then led to half their staff being canned, which was a huge bummer because it was a very interesting scenario, unique situation of, as you said, when these layoffs do happen, especially at bigger studios, we tend to kind of get mad, which I think fair enough, because a lot of the time it's because these very specific studios are kind of answering to shareholders and trying to kind of hit that number go up. But League of Geeks was a very, very kind of different situation of they just literally couldn't afford to keep developing that game.
Yeah, and they weren't a massive studio either.
No, they were mid-size, and mid-size in Australia. So that's even smaller than mid-sized in America, you know?
Yeah.
So they were still making Solium Infernum and basically had the choice of with the funds that we've got, do we attempt to keep making these two games despite not having the money, or do we just stop Jumplight Odyssey, get Solium Infernum out the door, and hope to God that it gives us enough of a push that we can move back.
Totally.
Yeah.
And again, it's we don't know the specifics of the scenario. We don't know how it was managed. We feel again, from the goodwill and how well the games were received, you assume it's all being done in a professional manner. But it does prove that marketing is a beast that needs to be really handled well. And we've seen games marketed that aren't very good games, but for some reason the hype, the talk, the uptake rate is there, and so it's interesting that a game can't rest solely on the laurels of it being a high quality product. It does need to be sold.
And you have a great conversation with Kelsey Gamble coming out on your next podcast. But so there'll be a great in-depth discussion. You absolutely should subscribe to Pocket Buds and listen to that. Because Kelsey was there for Jump Light.
Kelsey was one of the people who was laid off from Jump Light, from League of Geeks, and she was saying like Jump Light Odyssey was gonna be something special. It was gonna be something special, but it just didn't make it. And like the industry at the moment, and I won't go too in depth because I highly recommend that you just listen to the podcast tomorrow. However, she did say that like the industry is just so volatile for mid-sized studios specifically.
That's the real clincher, isn't it? Because like 2 people making a game, it can sell as well as, Armello did well.
Yeah. It's still doing well.
And it's still doing well, and it's really critically well received. Solemn Infernum sold okay. It didn't sell well enough for them to salvage the company that they'd established, right? But they couldn't roll that studio back to, it's just one person, now what? Whereas like a tiny little studio can bounce between those tiny little projects, one between the next.
Yeah.
And then there's bigger studios that, some of the biggest studios in this country are Playside, and they make their money doing IP games
Licensed
and
games,
doing licensed games, mobile stuff, making what they can to make the money, make the business profitable, so that they can then do the creative things that League of Geeks were like putting all their laurels on, right? Like it was like, let's just create games that we're really passionate about, and
reflect that in it. But again, it's like
that's the sad news here is that like this company that everyone saw as this kind of beacon of light in the industry of doing the creative thing and just making it work. Can no longer make it work.
It's also, and it's another conversation, but there's no real clear line or trajectory of what is the best line for you to follow for marketing, but also for releasing your game. Going into early access, I don't want to say in hindsight, maybe it wasn't the best thing to do for Jump Light Odyssey, but it's something that's sometimes necessary to do to like get the game rolling and get it out there before you come.
Oh, like early access.
Yeah, early access and what did I say?
That's what you said.
Sorry, early access demos. Just there's no clear cut way to go. Like this is the right way. We can't develop games less and less these days to fruition and then release them. And
I wonder.
It really is just it's expensive, and
that's it.
Companies like League of Geeks get some government funding, but also they just get angel investors, right? They get people who are willing to put money out of their own pockets in the past into a studio that is respected and get a return on that investment. And that has become less and less common since the boom of COVID, right? That's where it's dipping way back away from where people are really excited about throwing money at video games.
And with those angel investors, it's like I think there's kind of people have started stepping away from them a bit just because they don't want to be beholden to their demands either. Sure. Like sometimes they want to, stay independent and stuff. You were saying something before though.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I feel like it's one of those things as well where so much of the way video games are marketed right now and what's successful is dependent on what's streamable. And I feel like when you think about the smaller games that do really well, it's the ones that don't cost a lot of money to make but have a multiplayer element and a hook that makes it kind of take off online.
How can it be
when
shared
people
and
watching
marketed within the audience by the audience themselves, not having to be paid for, and by streaming and by sharing clips, that's how it gets shared about.
Yeah, just watching other people having fun playing the game and having an interaction with each other is just like is the best marketing you could possibly hope for.
Yeah.
We were talking about how like that horrible statistic about like if a TV show is second screen enough, like how media is moving in that direction because the media landscape is changing so quickly. And I feel like for games that are in development that take such a long time to make, it's really hard to keep up with that change because the development cycle is so long and the media landscape is changing so much faster than that. By the time your game comes out, you weren't able to think about whether or not this is going to be a streamable game by the standards of what's popular right now. And so a game like Jump Light, I can see it being such a beautiful, thoughtful game, but for a company that doesn't have a lot of money to put heaps of marketing behind it and showcase what it can be and how it can be enjoyable, it's so hard to exist and get yourself out there when it's not subscribing to that kind of play experience.
And you're right,
Totally.
the development cycle is so long that trend might have changed 3 times. Or like
Yeah,
that trend
at
or
least.
way that it is
Yeah, yeah.
consumed might have changed so many times that, yeah, there's just no way you can predict if your game is going to align with that.
And it all comes back to that eternal struggle of art versus capitalism. It's hard to exist in both worlds successfully.
Totally.
It's such a
Do
bummer.
you just do the thing that's going to make money, or do you do the thing that's going to give you
make it a live-
artistic
just make it a
integrity
live
and
service.
pride?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
be
like
fine.
where do you choose to land on that spectrum?
And people always love to cite examples and stuff. People talk about Larian. There was there's a great sound bites from Sven Vincke when he's like, there was a period where, as they were trying to kind of get Divinity out, they just had no money and they were taking pay cuts and taking out loans and stuff just to keep paying the staff to keep that going. And people are like, they did that because they care about their employees. Like, what are these fucks doing? And it's like, it's a very specific scenario. Not everyone's in a position to fucking
hugely risky.
put
Massive
themselves into
gamble.
debt.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, if it had gone the
it
other
paid off for
way,
them, but like
totally,
far out. Like
yeah.
you can't be like using that as an example and saying
Yeah.
everyone needs to follow that. It's
I hate the comparison thing. I hate people just going like, why didn't they do what this studio did? And it's like, well, that studio
And
took
it's so easy to do from an armchair.
It's-
Like, that's the point.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
if to me it kind of like links back to like why do they need so many people to work in this studio when old mate made Stardew Valley all on his own? It's like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
one, he didn't, and two, he almost died. Like,
Yeah.
He worked himself almost to death. Like, please read Blood, Sweat and Pixels and realize how much that man almost ruined his life.
Yeah.
Like it's just, you can't make comparisons in game dev.
Yeah.
Every experience is different,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, people are saying, BMAX said, it sounds like this is a conversation that's close to home. We run a business. We know the guys that ran League of Geeks and, totally empathize with that position. We just, go and get bags full of cash from the back of a strip club down the road. And that has
my
kept
family
us,
business.
That's kept us going.
Yeah, works well.
Yeah.
That's my backup plan as well. I've been working really hard.
So,
Yeah.
there's a way.
I sold them their napkins.
There's always a way.
We love you, League of Geeks. I love. Big love to League of Geeks and everybody who worked there. Yeah.
Lol, but in the way that my mum uses it.
Lots of love.
Lots of love.
Lots of love.
Lots of love. Lol.
Lol to log.
Lol to log. But I think now it's about time to talk about what we've been playing.
That's good. Let's do it.
Oh, that's me.
Now we can hear people walking upstairs, and it's like,
What's going on there? It sounds
what's going on?
Nothing's going on. Don't worry about it.
What was that?
I said nothing's going on. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Ah.
I'm kind of
It's
scared.
getting up
Where's
to shit
Will?
up there.
Yeah.
It's been
They're having a
shifty.
they're having a great time up there.
What we've been playing is brought to us by Nicrotex. Every week in the show, we like to celebrate Nicrotex by reading one of his tweets. And, well, this one was called out to us by Liz Dahlia, who was like, it's got to be this one. And I agree. Nick Belling, a day ago, said, I cannot believe everyone decides to say exclamation mark for exclamation mark symbol and hashtag, the hashtag symbol, when the far funnier way and sexier terms bang and pound predate them. I remember when they would say pound sign. There was
I say pound all the time.
American, but it's
Bye, Will.
Bye, Will.
where are you?
I didn't. Bye, Will.
Bye, Will.
Waving on all these different directions.
Bye,
I was
Will.
so confused.
I didn't realize that bang, because I knew that in Terabang,
Terabang.
it's like a
Get out of our
question
liminal space.
exclamation, but I didn't realize that a bang is just the exclamation.
Yeah, it's like bang.
I never heard that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I've never heard of bang. Never heard bang like that.
Yeah, no, I've never heard
Definitely
it
heard
used.
pound.
But I know
Yeah.
pound. Press the pound symbol.
It's
Yeah.
also like, you know how Americans always say it was this period.
Yeah.
You know, full stop doesn't have the same emphasis.
Because period
I
is
think the
3
opposite. Full
syllables.
stop.
Full
I'm
stop
like,
is
it's
2
very
syllables.
British.
Yeah.
It's too many syllables.
I've never
too many
heard
syllables.
either.
Period.
I've
What if
never
you just
heard
went-
bang and pound.
There's a lot of syllables for that many letters.
What if you just went stop like you're reading a telegram? Your father has been killed in the trenches. Stop.
Period.
I think that's confusing.
And that's on period. Yeah.
It's a
Your father has died in the war. Period.
There's 6 letters
Hashtag
and 3
lol.
syllables. Is that the most dense syllabic word in the English language?
No, it's Tom.
So I've never heard bang or
Pound.
pound.
Porn.
Porn.
Bang pound porn.
I've never
That's
heard
my
bang
backup.
pound. Yeah.
That's my dancer's name. Bang pound porn.
Bang pound.
Yeah, you used to
yeah.
dial *10# hash. That was like return a call.
That's
wasn't
it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you go, please leave a message after the tone. When you are done, press hash.
Bang.
Like that?
Mm.
Bang.
Which-
Please pound.
Please pound.
Bang and pound would be great if we started using those. I agree.
Nicodex knew
I
they were
like
going to
'em.
spark this debate when they wrote that tweet.
Yeah.
I can tell.
And I've also I don't think I've ever seen Interrobang used like contextually. I've only ever seen it
Me
as like,
neither.
did you know that this exists and it's called an interrobang?
How can you use it? Is it the
Well,
same as you use when you're like question mark, exclamation
Yeah.
mark?
Yeah.
What's the other word for question mark?
Huh?
Bang.
Nailed that.
Sorry.
Huh?
Bang.
Took me a second. I'm sorry.
Steph, you've forgotten the segment, haven't you?
What we've been playing.
There it is.
We already did the card. What have we been playing? Well, let's start with Peter.
Is
I
that
love that visual cue. She goes around the room. Hey.
Let's start with me
for
because
it.
I want to talk about Alan Wake 2 Night Springs. Ooh, baby. The Night Springs DLC is the first of the two promised DLCs for Alan Wake 2. It was kind of surprise dropped. We knew that there were two coming. The first one, we didn't know exactly when the release date was going to be. When Sam Lake got on stage at the not the Game Awards, at Summer Games Fest and
so
said,
cute.
"Hey, you can play it tomorrow," and everyone went, "Woo!" And so I did play it tomorrow, and it is it's all wrapped up as episodes of the Twilight Zone that were a strong part of that first Alan Wake game. Night Springs would be on televisions. It is a little bit in Alan Wake 2, but it's so meta Alan Wake 2. It's more meta than even the first one, that you're kind of in it and out of it and around it. These are short episodes of a show, Night Springs.
Mm-hmm.
So you jump in, the first one you play as Rose, the coffee server at the local cafe, who is in love with Alan Wake, is obsessed with the character. You know that from the mainline campaign. And as soon as I started playing it, I knew I was in for something really special because of just the tonality that they've lent into. It wasn't just more Alan Wake. This is Rose, the 45-minute experience. It is pink tinted.
I was about to say, I love the color grade. It looks sick.
Yeah, the whole thing is her basically like internal reality, which is not at all the reality that she's living through, where everyone adores her. She's amazing. Alan loves her.
Sounds like
they're
me.
catching up. They're catching up later. It's fascinating. And then she goes to save the day, and she's got a shotgun, and the shotgun has auto fire because, like, in this reality, she's just this mega hero.
That's amazing.
And so that's the first chapter, and it is, they don't outstay their welcome. They're a delightful addition. They don't feel necessary, but they feel like just like a little popcorn experience, and that's nice as well because it doesn't feel like they don't feel like a burden. They don't feel like you need to play them to unlock some of the mystery of the main game. You're not going to miss anything by not playing these, but you are going to get a lot by experiencing all these different tones and ideas that they've set up.
The main game itself, it's a dense, wonderful slog that I really enjoyed. But it's the kind of game when I finished, I was sad there wasn't more of, but I had no desire to really go back and play it again because of how I found fractured the story was. But I find these kind of DLCs are perfect because you're like, I just want to go back down that main strip. I want an excuse to see this beautiful polish on this game, the wonderful direction, but like through a vignette of a little story or something. It's like, it's just that little, have another go kind of.
I feel like they did that with BioShock 2 and that
Oh, yeah.
game's DLC, where
Yep.
it was just like put you in a completely different person's position, completely different person's shoes and let you play out that story while still being in that same universe. And
Well, yeah,
kind
when
of
they put this much
experiencing
like
that vibe.
love and effort and like craftsmanship into a game engine like Alan Wake 2, I was like, I just adored it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm really excited to just do these as like little one-shots almost kind of thing.
Totally. And like because they're short, the pacing is just balls to the wall, just fun ideas back to back to back to back.
Gives them an opportunity to be more creative.
Totally, because the hard work of building the engine and building the world is done. It's like, all right, what can we do?
You know
to
the town.
play in and break? Yeah, exactly.
Like that's
Yeah.
It's amazing. The second act is the character from Control. They've really started to lean hard,
Alice
obviously,
Control.
into their multiverse.
Yeah,
Sorry?
right.
Jane Control.
Jane
of
Control,
course.
yeah.
Yeah, Jane Control.
Who is still looking for her missing brother, but finds herself
Jesse Faden.
Jessie Faden, who finds herself in the Night Springs and is confused by what's going on, as you expect, but has the Control humor in it. Like it feels like Control DLC, not Alan Wake DLC. It's really weird. And then the last one is the Sean Ashmore character, the cop, who
Quantum Break?
who was Quantum Break and also a cop in
right,
Alan
yeah.
Wake 2, who was lost in the realm looking for the
A
mask.
job?
Looking for a job.
Iceman or Iceman's brother?
Iceman.
Iceman.
Iceman's brother was in a bunch of Canadian sci-fi.
Joy, Killjoys.
Killjoys.
I was like, Joy Killers.
And the third one is by far the most playful with concepts.
Okay.
And they're all great in their own ways. I think this chapter is probably the weakest to me because of the pacing of it. It feels like because this character is grounded in their own a separate reality to the Alan Wake verse. It feels like a Control DLC as opposed to an
We're
Alan
still
Wake
seeing
DLC.
the Control one, aren't we? At the
We've
moment?
just jumped now to
okay, now we're in the third.
to
Yeah,
third
gotcha.
one, where you're traveling through the multiverse. And
Do they have a name for it? They do, don't they? Did he come up with a name for what they're calling their?
he has, yeah, and he the start of this chapter is Sam Lake is in there in a studio with a green screen, and they're filming an episode of a TV show with him. Talking about in another universe, we're probably in a video game right now. Like they just
He's so fun.
they just
I love him.
lay it on so thick, but it's fun the whole time. It just it knows its own tone. I felt the same about Alan Wake 2. The main experience was so meta and so self-aware, and that can sometimes feel cringe, but they just balance it so well. And so yeah, I mean, absolutely, if you've played Alan Wake 2, you really will enjoy this quite short experience. You'll finish all 3 chapters in about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Is Rose a character you're introduced to in Alan Wake 2?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There's something about I think his Finnish, Sam Lake, like having or like his Scando back, like. Apologies, not being a Yank, like not being his level
I love
of
when people aren't American.
like if I know the idea that
green
like
flag.
there's
Yeah.
something so endearing about his joy for the property he's made that isn't arrogant, that isn't like grating, that isn't like look what I've done. It just he has such pride about it that it feels really lovely, and I just feel like yes, that dolphin. I don't know. I feel like. Traditionally, we see like larger framed game franchises helmed by loud, obnoxious voices. That's what I'll say. I won't put it down to a country of origin. But I'm just like, I just love him so much.
I love that he's
And
like a silly guy, but he also looks like a little bit scary.
Yeah.
That's pretty consistent
You
with
know?
Finland, I would
Yeah.
say.
No,
Yeah.
it's totally,
Yeah.
totally.
Come into my cabin.
He's
It's
either
fine.
going to
Yeah.
rake your forest or
Yeah.
murder you.
Yeah.
with a rake.
Yeah.
Yeah. But God, it makes the Remedyverse. Someone pointed out before is like
There
potentially
is a
what they're
name,
calling it.
like
I thought there was like a control.
But it's like it's intentionally obtuse and like acronym heavy, and they make fun of that and play around.
I think I also like that they're laying the track in front of the train as they realize what they have. At no point do they go, "Oh, we always wanted it to be this." They're like, no, they just keep finding excuses to inject Max Payne copyright version withstanding into Alan Wake 2. They just, when it works, they'll do it. And I love that about Remedy and what they do with this property, because it's like, they never pretend that they're Kojimering or someone being like, we always intended for it to be a wonderful paint. It's like, no, you just thought this would be fun. Let's do it.
Yeah.
The other thing the last point I'll make about this is if you feel like you're umming and ahhing still, one thing that I really loved about this was it just like throws ammo at you. Part of Alan Wake 2 was the survival element of it, of like just managing the resources that you have. This is just go hard.
Cool.
And it just lets you do it. It gives you everything you need to just be like rush through it, basically. Yeah.
That's what I really loved about Crow Country when I played the demo of that, was that like they just kept throwing ammo at you. They're just like, please take all these bullets. And I hate having to look for bullets in game.
And so there's a second batch of DLC coming out too?
There is, yeah, but I don't think it'll be Night Springs
Right.
wrapped. I think it'll be more back with Alan, potentially. I don't know.
Yeah.
Back with Alan.
Sorry? Back with Alan.
Back with Alan.
And we're back with Alan.
Yeah. See, I love playing a bitch who's delusional, so I'm keen to give that a go.
Yeah. You're well practiced.
Next, I can't wait to hear from this person and what they've been playing. And it's me. It's Ruby.
Is it?
It's
No,
it
it's
is
you.
me. It is me. You're supposed to give me a confirmation face.
I smiled, nodded, and shook my head at once. So
Yeah, that was not helpful.
no, it was not. But it was you, so I couldn't do
It
anything.
is me.
It is you.
me.
Yeah.
So I have not played Destiny since. It's been almost a year, I think, since I played Destiny. I kind of needed to take a break from it, and then knowing that the final shape was coming, I knew that would obviously be the point that I would jump back in. And I think everyone was kind of a little bit. There was a really high player base around the time of Lightfall, but the expansion didn't review well, and the kind of sentiment from players was not great following Lightfall. I think because there was a lot of content from Lightfall that was supposed to be part of the final shape, they needed more time in the final shape to kind of let it cook, and they ended up kind of splitting it. And Lightfall kind of felt like it wasn't a fully complete, satisfying experience for a lot of people. And also, I think just the city of Neomuna felt a little bit empty. This is like one of the coolest campaigns that I have played, I think, in the history of Destiny campaigns. And rightly so, because it is the conclusion of the Darkness and Light saga, which has been kind of like progressing through the story of Destiny 2. I struggle to keep up with Destiny lore because it's that kind of Bungie level of sci-fi that is just so involved and in depth and difficult to follow when you're just trying to get through the MMO-ness of it all. But the sort of crux of this is that you've been going through, your life as a guardian, trying to rely on the powers of the light that's been given to you by the Traveler, the big kind of like planet-looking thing that gifted you the guardian powers to come back again and again and fight for the galaxy. But every now and again, you've kind of dipped into the power of darkness as well, particularly in Beyond Light. You kind of started to get those darkness powers and things like that as well. And there's a lot of back and forth about, good versus evil, and if it needs to be a blend of both, and the balance of the universe and all that kind of stuff. So here in the Darkness and Light saga, coming to a conclusion with the final shape, the Witness is kind of the big bad who wants to reshape the universe into his perfect image. And that basically like shows you kind of
A triangle.
Well, a kind of tessellated, messed up kind of version of things kind of split, and it's one.
Is that foggy hair person?
Foggy hair person, yeah, that's
Okay.
The one
yeah.
who looks like scary.
With big eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually it's a really legitimately terrifying villain.
It's a cool design. That
Yeah.
particle effect they have constantly. Yeah, it's terrifying.
And the Witness's voice is actually, I recognize, I hear the Crow in there, I hear Ikora in there, like I hear everyone's voices. They've amalgamated all of the characters, like all their voice actors' voices, and used AI to blend them. So it doesn't sound like any one person's voice, but every now and again you hear hints.
Familiar tones.
And stuff and things like that. It's really creepy. And it kind of gives you that impression that the Witness is kind of this amalgamation of everything, and the world that you're moving through now is a construction of everything that you've ever played through in Destiny 2. All of the levels and areas that you've been through, this big story moments and stuff, but they've all been broken apart and split and twisted and distorted.
Oh, aren't you clever, Bungie?
Yes.
I've done this in so many other video games where you're like jumping on broken broken, fractured pieces of worlds, but man, it works when it works.
Yeah,
that's
you
great.
basically go inside the Traveler, into the heart of the Traveler in this expansion, and inside there is this kind of kaleidoscope of everything that you've ever played. So you're recognizing things, and my first impression as I went through, it was because I'm such an environmental design nerd. It's my favorite thing about video games, and I spend a lot of time just like looking at stuff and going, whoa. And Destiny does the most beautiful environments and skyboxes and areas for you to traverse. This was just one of the most beautiful things that I've ever seen. There's moments that I was recognizing, but also my first thought was like, man, if this is the Traveler's like vision for like a perfect world, like I'm on board. It's great. I love what you've done.
The Witnesses?
Sorry, that's what I meant. Sorry. Yeah. I love what you've done with it. I think it looks great. I think everything's beautiful.
It's vibes, man.
Sometimes
like,
the baddie is right.
Let him cook.
Prepare for a final fight. I love it. What?
Yeah. He's one of those baddies as well. It's like, live the life that you want. I'll give you everything you ever dreamed of. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But it's got to be purple.
It's like David Bowie at the end of the Labyrinth, where he's like, let me love you, be your slave. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Forget the baby. Stay with Bowie. Get the baby out of here.
Team stay with Bowie.
And then the wonderful thing too is that there have been some great characters throughout the franchise, and this is I suppose a spoiler, but it was in all the trailers and stuff like that. But if you haven't managed to play the expansion yet, then maybe block your ears for this. But they bring back characters like Cade Six, who was voiced by Nathan Fillion, and one of the fan favorites. And I would say that like a lot of the characters in Destiny have that sort of self-importance and seriousness about them that makes it really difficult to kind of find levity in a lot of the stuff. And it's high stakes, the peril of the universe stuff, which I get. And I love Zavala and I love Ikora and I love all those characters. The Drifter is probably the exception, but he's so annoying.
Annoying as hell.
and has one of the most disliked game modes in the game as well. So to have a character like Cade Six come back, it's the first time that
It's striking, isn't it?
It's
this game was fun.
Yeah, but also like all the writing for all of the characters, it sounds the same no matter who's talking. But the writing for Cade Six sounds like it's written for Cade Six, and it sounds also like a lot of Nathan Fillion ad-lib.
Totally feels like he makes it his own.
Yeah.
He's filling in.
Filling mignon.
So it's such a breath of fresh air to have a character come in like that and make it feel like its personality and it's purposefully written, and it's just a joy. And I imagine that they've had to put some budget aside for Fillion voice acting, and save it for when it would really count.
That was half the cost of this expansion, was paying for Nathan Fillion to come back.
I'm sure. Yeah. In terms of the gameplay, it's really fun. We always do the campaign on Legendary, which is it's just the best way to enjoy the campaign if you're a Destiny player. It's taking you through all the kind of greatest hits of Destiny, but it feels new and fresh. There's stuff that's familiar about it in terms of some of the mechanics, because of course it is, but it's just legitimately challenging and exciting, and it was just so much fun. I'm still a little shy of completing the campaign. I think maybe I don't have the stamina that I used to.
And also, when you were playing your first session of it, like, not all of the campaign was out until after the raid was completed as well.
Because
then it releases the final mission.
Apologies for interrupting, but I tuned in for a little bit and saw you fighting big old smoky head character.
I mean, I'll let Steph finish before I talk about my journey.
That's the raid?
Yes.
And so is that separate from the campaign?
But it is also linked, because they want...
Right.
Because the raid is such niche end game content, not everyone can get 6 players together to do it.
Tiny percentage of people do the raids,
They want the story to be finishable by the majority of players. So most of the campaign happens. The raid is part of the story that happens that most people don't experience. And then by completing the raid, it unlocked... When the first team in the world finished the raid, it unlocked the final story mission.
Oh, right.
So it's all connected, and they do that every time.
And people, I guess, if they really wanted to, they could
watch someone's raid.
Right.
Okay,
and get that
thank you, that clears it up.
Almost like, how they would have like webisodes sometimes in the interstitial between seasons and stuff like that. So I've yet to kind of fully complete it, but I've just been enjoying the expansion so much. This expansion so much, and I think it's just been overwhelmingly positive, I think, from the Destiny community in terms of a satisfying, campaign to kind of close out this story arc on, and all of the different enemy types that you're fighting, and as you move through each kind of like environment section that references the things that you've enjoyed throughout like all the sort of history of your Destiny experience, it's just it feels really wonderful.
Do we know what's next for Destiny in terms of more for 2, or does it move to 3, or is this closing a chapter and a title?
We don't know whether they're going to repackage as Destiny 3, but they have said that there is a path ahead for what Destiny is, and people have interpreted from what they've said that it is likely that we're going to be leaving the solar system, because everything that's happened so far has been in our solar system, which it implies to me, and I think they'll probably do an engine overhaul.
Yeah, right.
But I don't think that they would. I don't think they'll do Destiny 3. I think Activision managed to get away with that with Destiny and not with Overwatch.
Yeah.
And I think what they would do is just go back to being plain Destiny.
I think so too.
And staying as an iterative thing of Destiny from this point forward. But
Destiny -2.
yeah.
Yeah.
I will echo Steph's sentiments. I actually think, and controversial, but probably true, Destiny has never been this good, which I hate to say because I so love not playing Destiny because it's an addiction.
Yeah.
It's obviously the game feel is fantastic.
Always is.
But there's often most of the content is just grindy bullshit like an MMO. It's really, really strong right now. I said it last time I talked about Destiny because I was getting ready for the day 1 raid. The content that's available at the moment is really fun. This campaign is the highest rated of all time, and it is honestly worthy of that from what I've played of the campaign. The raid is the hardest raid they've ever put out. The day 1 completion was 1 team, finished in the first 24 hours. It was a longer completion time than the previous hardest raid. So they've really just gone balls to the wall with this final shape. And I uninstalled the game after the day 1 raid attempt because I was like, good, I'm satisfied, this was really fun, and I've had enough. And then I installed it within 24 hours. What if I just jump back in and do a little bit? So I have like such a weird, of the content that's come out for Destiny in the last 2 weeks, I have such a weird completion amount. I've done like, I didn't finish the campaign because I didn't have time to play it before the day 1 raid. So someone finished the campaign for me on my account so that I could do the day 1 raid. So I hadn't touched the campaign, went into day 1 raid in contest mode, spent 11 hours on the first encounter, got past it, stopped playing. we knew we weren't going to finish it.
No wonder you've been a grumpy bastard this last
so
week.
I finished the first encounter of the raid, uninstalled. We got a checkpoint for the last encounter of the raid. I reinstalled to play that final boss fight. Didn't finish it, but then finished it on day 3, which was the non-contest mode. So my completion of the raid is the first encounter, the last encounter. I got to the second encounter, so I've seen that. I've seen streamers play the 4th encounter. I still don't know what the 3rd encounter is. Haven't seen a frame of it.
Wow.
I've gone back and played half of the campaign, except that I've played the first 5 missions of the campaign and the very last mission of the campaign, so I know how the story ends. And last night I played... So now that the Witness is dead and the Dark Light Saga is over, they've started doing little bits of content to tide us over, and the Echoes have launched. So I did the first mission of the Echo stuff.
Oh my
God. I've like half finished most stuff, but I'm having a lot of fun. And that's kind of why my sentiment is that this is the best Destiny's ever been, because all the stuff that you can grind, it's all good, as opposed to it being Gambit because you have to get your pinnacle reward. And it's like, oh, fuck that. I don't want to play that part of the game because I don't like it.
I think too, as I can imagine for the devs like who've been working on this for such a long time, it must just feel so good to finally get this out, which really just feels like it just feels like a beautiful piece of art with like a video game stuff just like shoved into it, because it's so beautiful. But all of that seasonal stuff that they have to keep putting out to like tide people over you would get so frustrated having to be like, okay, what kind of like blend of 5 currencies can we kind of foist onto people to keep them going until we can give them this next expansion? And
when you know you have these ideas and this grandeur that you want to explore and you want to show the player base, but you're like, that has to be tied to all of those mechanics and like upgrades that make you go like...
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, and with the Final Shape expansion, they actually got rid of a few currencies. They tried to streamline a few things back, but you know, it'll bloat and it'll trim and it'll bloat and it'll trim. That's kind of the life cycle of any MMO. But yeah, I think Destiny is as good as it's ever been and probably the best it's ever been.
Yeah.
Play.
Jokes aside, it's a long-running joke on this show that I'm always like, I'll jump in on this one, and I did a little bit with Lightfall, but like I am allergic, and this is my problem, to that confusion of what's going on narratively. And as you pointed out there, it's like it can be explored in such a fragmented way. But the second I don't know who is what and who's telling me, and I jump in and they start having voices all speaking to me on the comms, I get frustrated and I'm like, I want to understand all of this. And I don't think there's ever really been a good way to go like, let's go in and start from the start again and just play through. It's like, no, that's been like sunsetted and you can't do this anymore and you just have to read up on it. And so a little bit of me gets frustrated. That's my finickiness, but I do agree. I like the moments you do, just that gameplay, the Bungie shooting is just like, God, it just gets its hooks in it.
We have 2 great comments summarizing the Destiny 2 experience for new players. Destiny 2 sucks to join as a new player, sad face. The next comment is, just watch the 15-hour lore video. That'll help. Simply give your entire life to this thing.
An even better comment, FNAF lore is better.
Oh, Christ.
Shut up.
But that's Bedazzle, and Bedazzle is clinically mad.
Me too.
How mad are you right now, Bedazzle, on a scale of 1
Also,
to
knowing
10?
how much you guys have invested into that series, it's lovely to see that, this Final Shape or this chapter is like, it's ticking all the boxes and making you feel like your investment in both time and energy has paid off to some degree.
Yeah. I was looking at my hours on Red Dead the other day and I was like, I wonder if this is creeping up to Destiny. I'm about halfway there, which is saying a lot because I have not been playing Red Dead that long.
You play a lot of that, so...
Wild.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Wow, it must be Gus.
No.
Damn it. You said that with a cheekiness that implied it was you.
I zig when I zag.
Ruby, what have you been playing?
Hi. I've been playing. I have dived into the Steam Next Fest a little bit. Half the Steam Next Fest and half the what happened over the weekend. Whatever happened over the weekend. All the announcements and whatnot. And that's where one of these demos came from, and then the other one came from Steam Next Fest. So I played 2 demos.
Mm-hmm.
I played 2 demos that I really like to talk about. The first one is for a game called ODDADA.
Say again?
ODDADA.
Okay.
Don't say again.
Say less?
That's not how you say that. That's the wrong context.
Say less.
ODDADA. ODDADA is what could best be described as a music making game. But it's done through the physicality of building blocks. So you are a little train, or you can at least control a little train that goes around all these situations, I guess, scenarios where you are given blocks. They can be letters, they can be little like city blocks or anything like that. They come in different varieties, and you basically just have to put them into this scene. And as you put them in the scene, they make music. And there's different, I think there's 5 or 6 different scenes where you're given I'm trying to put my words together. You're given the scene, you're given the blocks, you got to put them however you like, and doing so will create a beat or a melody or a harmony, and it's each one sounds very different. As you can see with the little train here, it's got 3 buttons. It's got sunny, it's got wintry, and it's got night. I don't know if that's what they're actually called. It's what I've called them just now.
Sure.
But choosing those different options gives you a different sound. So the sunny one to me sounds quite warm. The snowy one sounds quite cold, and the night one sounds a little freaky.
Ooh, like minor key stuff.
Yeah. So each scenario is a different layer of the song that you will grow to create through the physicality of this music making. So you start with this, and this is basically like your kind of, I'd call it like a bass melody almost. And you start with that. You move these around, make it happen. You press on the train and it records it. And then it takes you to the next scenario. Josh, if you want, you can kind of scrub a little bit around. But you've got another scenario like this. This is your beat. So this beat will happen
interesting.
over the song. And as you can see with the train here, it's got 2 new towers. And they're the layers that you've just made.
But the carriages you're hooking up as you go along to the train?
So yeah, they get added automatically. And
Okay, so yeah, it layers with every new scene. It keeps the old scene playing.
yeah.
Yep. Cool.
But you have to. It doesn't keep it playing over, so it's like constant.
Yeah.
You choose to turn it on.
Choose when you
choose
listen.
to-
You
when
choose
want
to turn it on, which can really help when you're in the middle of making a layer in a new scene, and you want to make sure it
Referencing.
sounds just right to that last one. And it's it's a game. It's also a music making tool. It's also a visual delight. It's very experimental. It's made by 2 people at Sven Algrim and Mathilde Hoffman or Mathilde. Mathilde.
I would have guessed that this was made by a
Bloody
Sven.
Americans.
Yeah.
What?
This looks like a Sven game. I feel like I like, as someone who struggles to onboard information and is a very visual learner, I like experiences that teach you a skill in a unusual format and visual structure. Like this is effectively teaching you music production.
But you're not looking at a Pro Tools timeline. You're
right?
looking at some
Which
crabs
is just
in
like
a...
a mess, and it just and that doesn't implant anything long term in my mind. This 100% would.
Oh, it's so delightful because you don't have to have any music making experience.
And so everything...
whatsoever.
I was going to say, does everything kind of... There's no real things you could mess
Can you
up.
make a audio mess?
Everything's
going.
going... It could be noisy, but it's...
Okay.
Okay, because...
But even the messes sound good.
Well, that's what I mean. They're
honestly.
going to have chords that complement, and you're not going to be able to put minor and major keys offset and like things out of time. Like it's always going to sound
it's always
like it's
in time.
Yeah,
it
okay.
can get a little overwhelmed. You can
Chaotic
make
and-
a chaotic mess, but the way that it's built, you almost don't want to, like because it's not. It's just not a traditional way of making music. But it is intuitive, you know?
I think I've played games like artistic games that are similar, where they give you a lot of different tools, but they kind of there's a spectrum of like how much they're willing to let you fuck it up. And I feel like in a scenario like this, you want to feel good about what you've made.
Yeah.
So they're going to kind of put certain things in place to make sure that what you're making is going to sound good regardless, but still make it creative enough that you're feeling in control of what you're structuring.
Which by no means detracts from the fact that you're not learning music, you're just playing, and play is making good sound. And you could learn to use this one game to make a particular type of sound or different versions that you like. That shouldn't detract at all from the enjoyment and the and the creativity that's unlocking as you play.
Totally.
Do you remember
But
that DJ game with the cards, like the physical cards you could put on
That's
the mat?
yeah.
That thing was sick, and you could make everything sound cool.
I think what I really love about this is that you realistically probably could build a song, or at least like the bones of a song, out of this game. Like immediately when I started playing and started making my little tune and getting everything together, I was like, oh, I could probably add lyrics
Put it
to
on
this.
Spotify?
I probably could put something
would
together
they own the
with
rights
this.
to it though?
I'm not 100% sure that's the only thing. However,
Owned by Sven
you
and Mathilde.
this is Sven and Mathilde's song. But what's really cool is that you put all your little doodads together, you make your song, and then at the end, the train goes on a little adventure, which is essentially recording the song. You choose
Yeah,
how
right.
loud or quiet
Nice.
each layer is. And then it not only allows you to save the track, but you get to make your own little cassette. And in making the cassette, you put some text on it, give it a name, color it however you like, put some stickers on it, and that's yours. And it's so
lovely.
cute. It's just so delightful.
Yeah.
It feels like it feels like playing Lego, but if the Lego made music, you know what I mean? It's delightful. Loved ODDADA. That was the first demo I played. And the second one I played, thank goodness you're here. Or
what?
better, thank goodness you're here. Eh? So, thank goodness you're here. It's set in Barnsworth. It's made by Cole Supper, who previously to this made The Good Time Garden, which was a game that is yucky, but I love it. It's very wet and jiggly and sloppy. That's the best way I can describe The Good Time Garden.
Okay.
It's also fantastic. Thank goodness you're here. However, it's the second game. It's described as a comedy slap-former. You play this little guy.
Slap-former.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Because literally all you can do is walk, jump, and slap.
I love it.
And you slap everything you can in sight. If you want to talk to somebody, you're slapping them.
There's just gags in
Hell yeah.
every like part of the frame, aren't there?
Everything's funny
That
about
water
it.
was leaded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like-
Leonard. And it's so this game is so dumb. I have been waiting for this for quite a while, and no, not quite a while, but ever since I saw it, I was like,
last,
now.
Summer Games, wasn't it? That we
I
saw
think it
the
was
first
last Summer
trailer
Games
for this?
first. Yeah.
And it was like such a strong trailer as
Yeah.
well.
It was wild. It had like it was done to that song. It had it's
Yeah.
like incredibly British is kind of the
Well, that's
the vibe.
That's exactly the vibe.
Yeah.
It's so British in the funniest, but it like does it over the top in the funniest and silliest way. Like because you keep going around slapping people, and they're like, oh, all right then.
But it's
Oi.
also
Ooh.
it's beautiful, but everything's ugly.
Yeah.
Like the town is grey and the people are pudgy and everything's just a bit sort of oof. But it's done. This art style is just so endearing.
Like you go outside and there's like ciggy butts everywhere and garbage that you slap open to reveal trash, you know, and there's one point in which you have to go to this pub to pick up the locksmith because he's gone in for his morning pint. And in doing that, you fall into a keg, and because you're such a small little guy, right? And let me tell you, a game where you get to be a little guy slapping people around.
I mean,
was this not made for
enough
me?
said for you.
Yeah.
Is
Or
there
right in the dick.
Is there a story? Like you don't have to get like
The story seems to be that you are sent to. I think you're. I don't know if you're an advertising boy, but you're sent to this little
Advertising
town
boy.
of Barnsworth to help the people out.
But I'm saying there is a story. It's not just like
Yes.
run around and be silly in a silly game. It's
Yeah.
saying there
I
is
mean,
an objective.
It is run around and be silly in this. It feels almost akin to Untitled Goose Game, except you're not
Okay.
really given tasks immediately. You simply have to walk around and slap everybody until
Until you
eventually the
find
people,
something.
the person that you slap is like, "Oh, thank goodness you're here. My arm's stuck in this grate because I was looking for a tuppence." No, he sounds more like, "Oh, well, thank goodness you're here," and it's quite delightful. It's so silly and stupid and colorful and ridiculous, and there's this one part where it's a nothing and everything game is the best way
Sure,
to describe
yeah,
it. There was one part where you have to go mow a lawn, and you control him, this little yellow guy, by just going back and forth. You play with a controller and you just go back and forth and back and forth. And every time you go back and forth, you come closer and closer to the screen, mowing this lawn. As you're doing this, there are these two flowers at the front of the screen just going, "I love you. I love you.
Right. And
I
it's getting
love
more and more.
I
He's getting
love
closer,
you."
man.
and you keep coming closer and closer until you kill one of them. They're like, "Oh!"
Thank
And then
goodness you're here.
it moves the camera to another flower. He's like, "I love you. I love you." And it's just so silly. And I really can't wait for the full game to come out. I think I'm going to go balls to the wall,
You should stream
insane.
that or something. It would be a great. Like,
I will be
to
streaming.
Enjoy
Yeah,
the jokes
yeah.
of that with an audience as
sure.
well.
Who
Good.
wants to stream? Thank goodness you're here.
Well, it's like I find humor in games like that as well. It's like I enjoy it, but I love it with an audience or at least a few other people to chuckle with. Because jokes by themselves in a game where you interact are also like, it just feels like a little
Anybody?
bit.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
me. That was me upstairs in the studio going with my headphones on.
People point out a few. Yeah, Matt Berry has voiced a character or two, and that
Yeah.
it was in the trailer, and everyone was just like,
sure.
as they
Yeah,
should, is
yeah.
currently just frothing
Yeah.
for anything with Matt Berry in it,
He's
and this
so
would be
great, isn't he?
perfect.
Do your best, Matt Berry. Thank goodness you're here.
No, I can't because we were doing the line earlier.
Thank goodness you're here.
Thank goodness you're here. No, I can't do it.
Thank goodness you're here.
Yeah. New York City.
Arizona.
Arizona. Your turn.
Is it my turn though? I haven't been bestowed upon me that it is my turn.
Yeah, whose turn is it
It
next?
is my
It's my
turn.
It'd be
turn.
your turn.
I want to talk
right.
about
Yeah, I can
Alan
talk
Wake
about-
2 Night Springs.
Oh God, I'm trapped in this
Again.
nightmare. No, I'll round us out with a game I had a short time with today playing because I saw it was dropped. An early access was dropped after a trailer came out during the Summer Games Fest. I think
Steam
it
Next
was
Fest,
Steam
or-
Next Fest. It was a part of one of those things. It snuck up and dropped on Steam, and so I checked it out. The game is called BodyCam, but I should prefix by saying here the game is not unrecorded. So this is a ultra realistic first person shooter that simulates what it would like to have a body cam GoPro real life looking camera on you.
We saw this a while back, didn't we?
Unrecorded was a trailer that dropped on YouTube and went really viral because everyone was like, is this real? And it's like, no, it's an Unreal 5 shooter. That game is still not out yet. That came out. That trailer came out a year ago, and it's still in development. What's happened here is two developers, two young guys, 17 and 20,
Whoa, pipped at the
have
post.
basically gone, we're just going to make this because people want it. So it's developed in Unreal Engine 5, and it is a first-person shooter that is a mixture, from what I can tell of what I've played, of bomb disposal and team deathmatch. And it uses these, I want to say tricks, like, because yes, there is some amazing lighting, but I think there's some wizardry going on in terms of it is the way the camera moves, it is the vignette, it is the perspective, and a few other things in there, along with the lighting and along with the high-res textures that really trick your eyes to make it feel real. It's the blown-out exposure, it's the really dark darks. I think it's something that could be done with other engines. It just so happens to thrive in this one. So I jumped into play this. Mainly, I don't want to say people have, I'll nip this in the bud early on. A lot of people have mentioned as well that it's like, is this too real? Unrecorded copped some, I want to say flack, but people were torn on it because they're like, this looks so real, I'm a little uncomfortable.
It's really confronting.
Correct.
It looks like
And-
you're watching military footage that is just like
Yeah.
Totally. And it's not just in the visuals, it's in the audio design as well. One thing that I think is actually really interesting, and I do actually, I kind of enjoy in a shooter, is the fact that they've gone, if you fired an AK-47 in an empty warehouse, you'd go deaf.
Yeah.
Like, the sound would absolutely just blare and deafen you. So the sound is blown out in this too. Every gun absolutely just cracks to the point that it feels like it's peaking your audio.
I feel like 90s spy movies led me to believe that silencers on guns made the gunshot silent, which it doesn't. Silencers were designed for spaces like this to stop them from like making you deaf.
Yeah, it's for
you
the
still
user.
hear the gunshot loud. yeah.
It was just, the noise was
The
such
thing
a
that we
loud-
think of as a silencer is a suppressor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think silencers do exist, but they're not real.
Not the
Yeah.
way
Like,
that they
not
are
in
in
the-
Bond. I jumped in and played a few rounds of this, and the thing I was actually really curious to find out, less about the realism and less about the brutality, was how the movement and the aiming would work, because the thing that is in both Unrecorded and BodyCam is this really realistic way that the camera works in turn with the aiming down the sights, but also how the head feels like it's bobbing and moving around corners. And I actually appreciate it because it does add a level of complexity to a shooter that I'm not used to with basic reticule shooter games, which is that you just follow that reticule. Here you don't have one, so you have to rely on your iron sights, but you're also given this kind of, I want to say like a 20 to 30% sort of cursor soft zone in the middle, which is where you are moving the cursor to aim your gun in that area, and then WASD obviously move you on larger axes, and then if you really move the mouse further around, you're going to move your view. So it's like when you have a conflict or a shootout, the two of you are actually having a little cursor shootout with each other as you're trying to kind of aim and hit each other, which feels really clunky and therefore kind of realistic, appropriate for what you're seeing. You're not
It's like
being
that
able to
DayZ vibe of like, inventory management is clunky in real life. You can't just pull a different gun out of your bag.
Yeah.
You need to crouch over and grab stuff.
Yeah.
all of that. And so here,
Adding on.
it actually, it makes, I play a lot of first-person shooters, and I'm a little tired of the old method, and this was very unique and felt very interesting because it meant the shootouts are less about who can quickly ADS and just like get your little white dot on their head quicker. It's kind of firing and hoping that when the muzzle flash and the sound and everything goes off, you're like, did I hit him? You don't get a kill indicator. You don't get a... half the time you don't even know if they were there. You just fired and go, they're not firing back, so I think they're down.
And this isn't a situation where someone could just put a crosshair on their screen or something and use that, right? Like it's like the gun is moving around and stuff.
Yeah, in that
physically.
20% or whatever area, like as I move it, my aim is shifting drastically as I move the cursor, but I'm not really moving the camera, if that makes sense.
You can see it here where you're making minor adjustments and it's not immediate. It's like your body follows the cursor as opposed
you've got lean as well. So if you use combining a lean and a strafe and a bit of this movement, you get kind of a really complex amount of movement, which is also super difficult to master in a way that I don't know if anyone really can. So it just makes all the gunfights feel really messy and in a realistic way. And then you marry it to this visual style and you get a very different, very tense shooter.
It's funny. Everything about it is like visually telling me that this is a VR game, but I know you weren't playing it in VR. It's just like the fisheye of the lens makes it look like that.
It's the amount of that small movement of the adjustment that you're seeing, which in VR you're always having because it's attached to someone's
and the
head.
floatiness.
Did it make you feel sick?
No.
Did it freak you
I feel like
out
this
at all?
I feel like this would make me
It
feel
freaks
sick.
me out because I want to point out a couple of the game mechanics that I thought were actually also really cool. And one of them is that in both modes I played, when you die, you're given a drone. And you fly that around. And again, a drone with this kind of lighting and the sound design of the... that looks realistic. The way that it has that fisheye moving around, it looks even more realistic through the filter of a drone camera. The thing I absolutely loved was I was going, great, I have a drone. I'm going to fly it around. Yours is flashing green to your teammates and red to your enemies. So enemies will see it and go, I'm going to shoot it
And
down.
are you like you're still on
You
comms
can
with
be
your
on
team and you're
comms shouting out what is happening. You also have a torch, so you can kind of like flick it and you can shine the light on and sort of point people out. They can shoot you down and your drone hits the ground. But also,
the sound effects for
I bring that up for a reason.
Please.
If you just, the first time I had my drone and I went flying down a corridor, as someone who's
What did that
played
sound
with
like?
one, and then I clipped a wall, down. Your
And
drone's down.
did that when you hit the wall?
Shut up. Hitting anything at speed with your drone knocks it out as it would in real life. You can't just bounce off a wall. Drones very sensitively touch anything and go, and they're fucked.
Yeah.
And so
A
it's
gust
like,
of wind should take you out of the map.
seriously,
Totally. Yeah.
the fact they included that.
Or a random cat will just jump out and
come out
grab
and
you.
pull it
Yeah,
out
yeah,
of the
and then
air.
you see a shot of all your teammates going,
Fuck, it's
All
broken.
airports should be allowed to just turn you off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Have you
appreciate
consulted Can I Fly Here, the app? No.
I appreciated that little touch of realism that felt very cool. And again, every little bit of realism on top of the visuals just gets a bit in uncanny valley. And the other one was I played a map that was started in pitch black in this building. So everyone has their torches on and off, but are basically just going on, off. Because obviously it's a massive beacon to give you away. So you're looking for other people turning their torches on. And when you turn it off, you get just a split second of kind of like it fades down and you can just readjust your eyes. So everyone's doing that. As the game went on, the sun came up. And again, it's so dumb, but when the lighting
just
looks
like
this...
real
That
life.
sounds beautiful.
But when the lighting looks like this, the sun coming up isn't just like, oh, bright God rays are flying through every window. It just got grayer. And then like a little brighter. I was like, I don't need my torch in here anymore. But the other sections I still did. So again, really normal additions to something that looks realistic. Feels creepily real.
When you're used to video game sunrises. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm used to like bright red, orange God rays and particles in every room and
That's
all that
what I
kind
like.
of stuff.
That's what I want in my video game.
I love it too, but here it just feels very surreal to be playing it this
I
way.
want Rose Edition.
Is it the kind of game
I
you're
want
going to be...
I want a game like this that just there's no shooting and you just see a beautiful life.
Yeah, I want a game
Beautiful
like this as
sunset.
BodyCam, but it's like you're in a cat cafe.
Body cam
Oh,
raising
those-
my child.
All those
Yeah.
cat GoPro ones at the moment.
But he
Yeah,
kept
yeah,
going
yeah.
for a nice walk.
That's,
Yeah.
that's what this level felt a little bit like as well. Yeah, look, I'm gonna jump back in and play a bit more. I think it would be really fun. It's high tension, so playing it against randoms was almost unpleasant. Like it's stressful, not knowing what
would
people were
not
doing.
enjoy this at
Comms
all.
wasn't too.
What's teabagging like in this game?
Yeah, you can actually feel your balls drop on somebody.
I think
very
it like-
realistic.
That's all I want to feel. I want to
4v4
feel the
with-
wind over my testes.
4v4 with mates, the heightened stress of this, I think, would be really interesting and would be fun. So, yeah, props to the developers who just went, we've got to get out and get ahead of this. It's getting mixed reviews. I think it's not as polished as people thought that kind of game would be, but that was looking at re-record, unrecord, what it was called, which I think is still in development, and that is going to be the polished version of this, but they might have hit them to the post as it is.
Because I think I saw people saying that it's getting mixed reviews because the price is a bit steep for what's essentially like a tech demo.
Yeah, it's like 15 or 20% off the full price, which is like $40 at the moment.
Okay.
So I hate to say it. I was one of those people. I'm so morbidly curious as to how that felt to play. I'd watched so much gameplay, and I was like, I need to know how that feels to run around and to be in an environment that feels uncannily real. So Dolphin Pants is $50 to $51 on Steam at the moment. Yeah, there's a small discount, but I'm assuming that's early access that will be followed through on. But maybe if Unrecorded or whatever it is comes out, these guys might just take their money and
Disappear.
run. Yeah. But the rest of it had a bit of polish. The sound design was great. The menus all worked really seamlessly. There's like a little dropping out of an airplane at the start that's unnecessary. So they've put some love into it where it didn't
Where we
need to be.
dropping?
So yeah, curious. It might get a cult following. Who knows?
Nice.
It's good fun though.
That was what we've been playing. This is my favorite bit. Peter played Alan Wake, Rose's Adventure. I played
Close
Destiny 2. What did you call it, Gus?
Aren't it shapes or no?
New Shapes.
New shapes.
Barbecue.
Which sounds like a
Shapes.
Huey Lewis album.
Isn't it a Dua Lipa song?
Yeah.
Probably.
And Ruby played
Two games.
I'm so sorry.
2 games. You played do-do-do-do-do and
Do dada.
yes.
Yep.
And then you also played the other one.
Called.
Thank-
Oh,
Thank God
bloody
you're
Thank
heck.
God you're here.
There we go. Good
Yeah, yeah.
enough.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness you're
you
here.
played BodyCam
Yeah, it's an easy one.
because you just said it. And that was Words and Games. After the break, we'll talk about more things.
Ah, what dreadful visions haunt me as I gaze upon the sea. And oh, what furtive bounty in deep, dark possibility. All aboard for strange horizons, beyond the sight of those ashore. Seamen hauled a feeble cargo to a place to find no more. Bound so tight, dead hands numb and white, a heavy implication. In dusky light and out of sight, now food for some crustacean. For a mighty shell, red as hell, it breached through waves almighty, and from its maw an ancient roar, then bloodshed quite unsightly. What better nest to lay to rest than out past Circular Quay? So leave the heads and drop your dead to the heart of Middle Sea. Middle Sea colossal crab fingers for a Leviathan appetite!
Lights low and feeling numb. Heart is beating like a drum. Mice roar and giants hum as they bring forth the cosmic calm. Bring the tinted nebulum for the cosmic car.
What's up, you guys? We just got robbed, but that doesn't mean that we'll be robbing you from a game plans. Let's go! The entire Kingdom Hearts collection is coming out on Steam this week. You must defeat the darkness, Sora! The enhanced edition of Shin Megami Tensei 5 is coming out this week too, a game that sidles up behind you and goes, "Hey big boy, wanna fight God?" Monster Hunter Stories is perfect for anybody that played Monster Hunter and thought, what if I want this bloodthirsty creature to be my buddy? Drift City Kings is a hyper-colourful racing RPG set in a Melbourne-inspired, not-too-distant future. By day, I'm working a dud office job, but by night...
I drive.
In Tracks of Thought, you're a lost little ladybug that's got to yap your way to self-discovery through turn-based card system. I mean, who needs therapy when you can trauma dump on a stranger on a train? And finally, Taskmaster VR lets you live out the dream of anybody who's watched that show, disappointing Greg Davies from a first-person perspective. That's all from me. Now I've got to come up with a good excuse to explain all of this.
What happened?
Welcome back, everyone, to the show from the tunnel, as promised. And now, wow.
What the hell?
happening?
We went to green.
Well, what is that image?
It's the tunnel.
tunnel.
It's at Helensburgh,
Will's tunnel.
where Will went to the tunnel. Dolphin Pen said do it from a tunnel, remember?
Will filmed his
no,
Mandalorian.
Well,
Will
she wasn't here for
Okay,
that.
I
was
wasn't
there.
here for that.
That was a Will App.
This is all very
I was like,
confusing
am I
for her
an
now.
odd choice? When
Well,
you
now
could have
we've-
put anything back there.
We've replaced our void with another dark void that I feel like something's going to come out of. I don't like that. Amazing. Welcome back, everyone, to the show. We had an ad break there where we saw words from Musovire, Cosmic, love your stuff. We saw an ad from Middle Sea with Miles the Ross, and we also saw the game plan in our old studio, the last you will ever see of it, unless you want to go back over the archives on YouTube and watch it regularly at any time. But the last time you'll see it in a new piece of content from us. So that's a sad thing. But I like this place better. I like our tunnel better. Look at our tunnel. Look at our gaping hole.
Today we handed the keys back.
I got a laugh.
There was a laugh. We could hear it. We could hear it. It bounced off the wall.
We
back
did.
there.
We handed the keys back and everything. We shook hands and said,
Yeah.
we're done.
See you later.
We're outta here.
It was quite sad.
Thanks for the memoirs.
Yeah.
Thanks for the murmurs. Yeah, so there you go. But you got to learn to love the new space. And you've got to learn to love some new games, which is what we saw in a bunch of trailers in a segment called Trailer Theater Long Trailer Weekend.
That was laboured.
On other screens.
On other screens. Come visit the popcorn, but I hate that word. that
Yeah.
that is almost a real tongue twister on that one.
Say it once.
Popcorn. No, popcorn.
Cockporn?
Because if you switch it, it's cockporn,
Cockporn.
which is much easier to say.
I
Sure
love
is.
cockporn.
It's a lot easier on the mouth. Something else that's easier on the mouth is the sponsor for this segment. That's Oz Naminator.
That was way better.
Thank you very much, Steph. And as usual, when we have a segment sponsored by Oz Naminator, we take a journey across Australia and look for the name of a place. Or more accurately, I shout out the name of a place and I ask you guys to tell me whereabouts in Australia you think it might
We're going
be.
to nail this.
Western Australia.
Peter's gone out early, and can we buzz him early?
No,
Hang-
I'm
hang
not.
on.
I'm still in.
It's not.
South Australia.
It's not working. One sec.
It's not working. That's all right. I can stall for a little bit. So
Australia is a country.
It's a big old country.
Give me
Didn't they change
one
it?
country.
Because we were always like, it's the largest.
Show me Australia. That's not how this works.
That is technically Australia.
Yeah.
The tunnel in Australia.
But where?
But where? Sydney.
Was there something like didn't Australia have like a Pluto moment where it became not a planet? Or it became like not the largest island continent or something? Because like the continent, because because tectonic plates.
But are you saying a Pluto
there's other
moment in that
parts
it
that
has
are on
since it's since gone back?
No,
I remember there was one
Gondwana
point
land?
where insane people from America were like, Australia's not real. It was something made up by the government. And if you think you've ever flown there, you've actually just flown in a circle.
And the frogs are gay.
It was just you're in Texas again.
Oh my god!
in the water is turning the frogs gay.
Where is this, everyone? The
Oh,
map has
lovely.
changed.
Okay.
Where? Oh my god, I love this. We are
it
going to
say?
be.
I
I'm
just looked behind me to get a better look. I was like, that's too far away for me.
The Panicasio face.
this
Put
week.
us on the wall behind.
Don't you do it. This week, the place I'm telling you, which is what we're looking at, is called Nowhere Else. Where in Australia is nowhere else? There it is.
It's so green. It's lush.
It is lush. That could help.
I'm gonna go with Tasmania.
Tasmania. Interesting. Stephanie.
I'm going to go with rural Victoria.
Rural Vic. Ruby, you want to guess where nowhere else is?
That's in New South Wales.
Josh, is it correct? The answer's no. Peter was correct. It is Tassie. Northern Tasmania is where the rural locality in the local government area of Kentish is the region known as Nowhere Else. So there
I
you
don't
go.
know why. I mean, obviously it looked green in Tasmania.
This looks great.
But
Now we can do the weather.
which place has from where you'd rather be? Which is that a state slogan?
From where you'd rather be.
Is that on like Victorian license plates or something?
There's nowhere else you'd want to go.
From where you'd rather be. I thought it was
nowhere
just
else.
Australia. I know what you mean. It was one of the tourism campaigns.
Well, I do love See You in the
I
NT,
feel like it's on.
though.
I feel like it's on
hate that.
license plates for
I like
one
it.
of the states.
Um,
We can never wear green in the studio because we're gonna have to key this.
I like that there was a whole...
tickling Tasmania.
I'll do it if I want to. Go
Leave
on.
Tasmania alone.
No, I think it was good. I think it was
You got to
good.
cup.
There was-
You got to cup the base of Tasmania.
At least
Can
lick
you raise it up
Lonnie.
a little bit for me?
Oh, wait. No, I got a little one here.
That's
No,
Hobart.
wait.
She's
Hold on. No,
Milk it.
hold on.
Milk,
Hold on.
milk Tasmania.
I know you don't want me to touch
Milk
it, but I want to
Tasmania.
touch it. I want to touch it so bad.
Yeah,
Hold on.
longer.
Hold on.
Milk Tasmania.
Guys, this studio just paid for itself. We can never have curtains here ever again. Back to the tunnel.
So we can't have nice
Yeah.
things.
We can't have nice things. Thank you, Oz Nominated, for sponsoring this segment. And if you didn't pay attention at the top, because I didn't either, this segment is called Long Trailer Weekend. Basically, what we're going to do is go around the horn and all talk about a couple of trailers that stood out to us because there have been a ton of them as part of Summer Game Fest, as part of Steam Next Fest, as part of the showcases. Xbox
The
had a
Xbox
showcase. Sony had a
Wholesome Direct.
They
Devolver
did
Direct.
theirs. You know I don't know them.
No, I know, but it was
Days
just
of
funny the
Play,
way that you said
the
it. You
PC
sounded like a
gaming
confused
show,
Italian man.
Future of
You're like,
Play.
oh, it's Summer Games
You're
Fest.
doing the Devolver.
I don't know what it's called. It's just Summer Games
What
Fest.
I knew is if I put a finger out and then nodded, Ruby would say it, and I'd be like, Devolver. There was,
Yeah.
of course,
Women-led games.
was women-led games, we can't forget-
Is that LED L-E-A-D?
what the fuck just happened?
LED.
Okay.
What the fuck just happened?
What happened?
happened?
What happened?
back
we
to
weren't
the
looking.
wide.
We weren't looking.
No, I don't think anything happened.
Okay, interesting.
Go back to the wide.
There
Go
was
back
just
wide.
We're back in the old room. It's so big. The scale is
Whoa.
off. OG Studio.
That's creepy.
It kind of works.
No. Oh my, we should have done that to see if anyone noticed.
Hold on. Let me...
That's
chroma
so
shows.
strange.
That's spot on. That's fucking crazy. We're not gonna do any.
What the
Nor
fuck?
anything.
Josh wield this power.
Milk the wall, Ruby. Milk the wall. Milk it. Yeah, nice.
Wow.
It's like we never left.
Do we do this?
Can you put chat up behind the wall?
I mean,
Give me a sec.
Yeah, like, we can do. There's a whole
We've
there's a whole
lost
screen.
a little bit of tone out of have the plants all gone a bit.
The plants are a little fuzzy, but
and
we
the,
can.
and the
yeah, we
neon
can
sign
kill
is
that.
fucked.
And anything like that
we
light
just,
back there is
we
a bit
just put the
fuzzy.
neon on the back. We take
Anything
it out physically.
Anything soft focus is hard for it to key, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
the wide looks
moly.
pretty good. That's
That's
pretty
so
good.
scary.
It just, and the weirdest part while we were talking, I looked down, saw it, and was like, wait, that can't be right.
Yeah.
My brain did backwards.
If everyone just says hello YouTube at some point, that'll be on the wall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very distracting, but in a great way. We're gonna have fun with this. Yeah, we're gonna all go through and pick 3 trailers that we'd like to talk about briefly. We'll have a bit of a watch. If there's anything you want to shout out in particular, give Josh a yell. But
Do you want me to name them all though? I probably can.
well, of course you've got.
Okay, so you've got Summer Game Fest, you've got the Xbox Showcase, you've got Day of the Devs, you've got Wholesome Direct,
You've got.
you've got IGN Game Days or Game Live, Live
IGN
Days,
Live.
IGN Live. You've got the Future Game Show. You've got the PC Gaming Show. They might be the same thing. I'm not 100%. I
Josh,
think they are.
Ubisoft
Can you
Connect?
put the
You got
stream
Ubisoft
up on the
Connect?
wall in the white?
Peter is just like,
That's not-
I want
that's
to do.
not-
I want to fuck with this. So there were a lot of
Women
things.
like games.
There were a lot of
Ubisoft Forward
things-
as well.
Ubisoft Forward as well. There were a lot of announcements, a lot of trailers, some for games we'd already seen, some more in-depth looks into those games, and some we'd never heard of before. Steph, I want to start with you because you're at the top of this. Tell us a little bit a game from the Assassin's Creed franchise you're excited about.
It's the Japan one that we've all been waiting for.
cool.
It sure is.
Shadow.
Yep, that's the one.
It looks sick. I was so worried. Like we had a
Come on, guys. Come on, chat.
Chat.
Come on.
It was just fuck.
Oh, Weplord, come on.
ASCII Peen.
Please.
Oh my god.
Proud of you
Alright,
guys.
that's enough.
Proud of you guys.
That's enough. We could build a- we
Everyone's
could
saying
build a
hi to
good
Mum,
mid
and
show.
then
We
a
can
lot
put
of boobs.
creative up there at the end.
Come on. Come on.
This is
Assassin-
wild.
I think we had a conversation about like whether or not they'd waited too long to release this because it was one of the ones that people have been like looking
It
forward
was
to.
foretold.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Ghost of Tsushima was so amazing. We've had quite a few games that have been sort of set in feudal era Japan and various kind of other sort of historical Japan settings, and it's
We got gameplay though in this trailer, I believe. So
It
the
looks
previous that's the thing. The previous one was all cinematics. It was all character introductions, which all look great, but it's not really a reflection of it.
Yeah.
So Josh, if you've got a chance to do your job, put the gameplay on the screen.
Yeah, can you put
Instead
it?
of,
can you
He's
put it on
been
green
busy.
screen?
Instead of Peter's
been
wills of
busy.
like
He's
What
been
game are we
busy.
talking about? 'Cause
Assassin's
someone-
Creed Shadows. That's why.
What's going on right now?
He wasn't paying attention. He was having fun.
Yeah, we got gameplay for this one.
yeah, it looks really incredible. It's just for me, anytime I think about an Assassin's Creed game and I get overwhelmed by the idea of how much there's going to be to do, and then I see the gameplay and I see the world that you get to sort of play in that sandbox in, and I'm like, heck it, I'm there. It looks stunning. It's just such a beautiful and different. It's so different from everything that we've done in like Europe and the Middle East, and it just seems like so much of everything that we love about Assassin's Creed, but in a like.
Well, that's it because I wouldn't say this is new seeing feudal Japan in this sense because we've seen it gloriously portrayed in other games, but it's like applying the Assassin's mechanics that we know we can enjoy. Like, is that enough to make you feel excited about this environment?
For sure, but I think also it's it feels a little bit more like Valhalla, where it leans more into its kind of action RPG sort of elements. Like there'll be stealth and stuff in there for sure, but I think this just looks like a really beautiful action RPG in an incredibly detailed sandbox environment, and I'm really excited to see all the different ways that you can kind of be involved in combat. Look, there's going to be a lot of stealth, but I think you can play really aggressively as well. You can approach gameplay, I think, as in a lot of different ways, just from what I've seen from this trailer. But also it just really celebrates the landscape and it celebrates the history of the setting, which I think really is what the Assassin's Creed franchise kind of set out to do from the start, was give you a really cool historical experience in a video game, but make it fun and
Take some liberties where they want it for
take some,
dramatics.
yeah. It just looks great.
Bamboo Forest bit looked cool, but it's like, is Japan never going to not be windy in a video game? Like, because it just looks so good when it's windy.
Yeah.
I don't care for a still Japanese day.
Yeah.
Personally.
You want those tall grasses to be blown
Yeah, I
in the
want
wind.
cherry blossom petals
I
floating
want
across
in
the
my mouth,
screen,
like-
and I want my hair to be whipping across my face
Fair
like
enough.
this as the
Fair
sun
enough.
sets behind me, and I think about vengeance.
Yeah. It just looks like when I think about like the most recent, and we're seeing a great example of it here, most recent Assassin's Creed games in this new engine, like the post not Odyssey, Origins era, everything's so big and wide and open. There's not a lot of dense stuff. There's not a lot of there's plenty of color, but this looks already to be I don't know, just like a denser, more
Which is what they were doing with
realized
with
space.
Mirage. They would like, we do dense to tailored bespoke environments well with the illusion, or maybe not even illusion, but the grandeur of sweeping vistas and stuff there. But you don't need to then traverse the vista. It's like, let me then like travel through a forest or something and go to these really curated little spots. But yeah, it looks
This looks
dense
gorgeous.
as. I will just point out, I can't wait till it's cluttered with UI. Like at the moment, it's
Yeah.
always that first gameplay walkthrough where it just looks pure and you're like, oh, that's lovely.
But I'm sure,
can turn it off,
there'll be
right?
settings to kind of.
Yeah.
But then they're hard to play because they're
Yes.
like tailored to be
They're
played.
so designed to be they
Yeah.
follow the marker.
Totally, but
moving.
I wonder if they will take some cues from something like Ghost of Tsushima and try and minimize the HUD somewhat and find other ways to do it, because there's ways that you can,
Totally.
you know, you can minimize that. Yes, it's hard to play without the HUD on because it is designed for you to rely on a HUD, but if you find other ways for you to do that, then you can lead.
It
lead
just so
players in a
happens
different
that the
direction.
last game to do that really cleverly and with an ingenuity was Ghost of Tsushima with the wind, and it's like,
Yeah.
crap, how do we do it now?
Yeah.
In a similar way,
A
but
small fox will guide you. Damn it!
follow the rain. Yeah, no, it does look stunning. And then I don't know if we have a release date on this yet, but I think it's sooner than later. It's like in the next,
The end of the year.
and yeah, it's within the last quarter
This
of the
year,
year.
at the end of the year.
Let's shift gears a little bit. Ruby, the first on your list. I'm very jealous. Oh well, this just looks woeful.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, we can turn the
Hey,
lights
hey,
back
can
on.
you put us in
Oh, you want,
space?
you want the lights on?
Can you put us in space, please?
No, but you put the trailer behind us, right?
I'd like to go in space.
You can put the trailer behind us.
So I've literally been saying it ever since you guys showed me the new studio and we're like, it's a green screen studio. I was like, great, put us in space.
You want to go to space?
I want to go to
Space
space.
is just black void.
No, there's stars and there's
But
planet and there's aliens.
Can you put us in space with the cat in front of it that's going like this?
Yeah,
Maybe in post
That
show.
specific wormhole.
I'll work
Yeah.
on it for post show. I'll
We'll
work on it
definitely for post show.
Are you done with you're done playing with the green screen? You want me to turn the lights back on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's enough for tonight.
Lazy.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. So,
Whole thing's hanging by a thread. We don't have a real internet in here.
Chaos
But
Yeah,
mode.
that's true.
we're doing great. We're doing great. Hey, guys.
Look at
we're
us.
doing really good.
Look at us. Who would have
Look
thought
at
it?
us.
Not me.
Not me.
Not me.
Ruby, you picked one that I was really keen to put on my list, but I'll let you talk about
I
it.
did
And
Diva.
what was it in this trailer that jumped out at you?
Sometimes we're different, but sometimes we're so the same, is what I'm always saying about you and I. And I think this is a really good example because one of the highlights from the weekend for me was Mixtape, which is a new game coming out of Beethoven and Dinosaur over in Melbourne. They made The Artful Escape and Mixtape. They're going into the 3D this time round, and you play as a teenager and her friends going for one final adventure. It's very musically inclined, similarly to The Artful Escape. It's
but this is licensed, baby. This
this
is
is
all licensed tracks
licensed.
from the
Oh,
from the
wow.
80s, maybe even early 90s, but like
Definitely
yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
it's got some Roxy music in there.
Yeah,
which
it's
is-
all about basically that
When I saw the
soundtrack.
Smashing Pumpkins, I almost cried.
Oh yeah, I lost my freaking mind. This is a completely different direction for the Artful for Beethoven and Studio as well. Like not thematically, because that one was really
Totally.
music focused, and this one seems like at least a big part of it is the music, but visually, like this is a 3D adventure, so different, but just based on how this looks at a first glance. Oh, Joy Division! I'm so pumped. At a first glance, this just looks delightful, and I am really like. I never played Life is Strange. A lot of people are looking at this and going, "This seems very Life is Strange vibes." I don't think I'll ever play Life is Strange, just because I don't know.
This looks more celebratory in the sense that it looks. I'm sure it'll have themes, darker, but it's like Life is Strange does have to tie itself to something that is a little more serious that helps it have the gravity.
This looks like it's trying to capture the way that music makes you feel, particularly when you're younger and everything is so emotionally charged, and you're spending so much time in your head fantasizing about yourself in different scenarios, and music is so often the key that transports you there.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
feel like this is what that's trying to capture.
Also,
just from
I
what I'm
just
seeing.
love skateboarding in a game, not having to do tricks. Just skateboarding for the sake
yeah.
of,
That,
of
like,
getting from A
cruising,
to
wind
B.
in your hair.
I love cruising in games.
Genuine and pathetic, but genuine observation from me is I'm a little nervous to play this because it's going to make me feel a bit sad and old in the way that playing a lot of games that do 80s stuff, where they're like, 80s nostalgia is fun to be nostalgic about, but I never really experienced it because I was born in 85, so it's like I didn't really live and experience the 80s. I got the culture beyond that, but the 90s stuff is going to hit hard and be like, this is their childhood, this is my youth, and I'm like, it's going to make me a little more reflective and nostalgic to the point that I'm like, that's going to maybe hit a chord stronger than the 80s stuff.
What I really... No, you first.
I was just gonna say it's like that Phineas song. I played it to you, didn't I?
Gus.
Definitely did.
Him, Gus. I just hope when they do play the Smashing Pumpkins, it's during the skateboarding part, and you go.
Billy Corgan rides a skateboard.
That is still my favorite video to this day.
That's the fucking greatest video on the internet.
Anywho, I'm super keen for
that looks
mixtape.
good. We need to get old mate back on the show.
Billy Corgan.
Not Billy Corgan. Beethoven and Dinosaur.
Johnny
Silver,
Galvatron, baby.
I almost had,
We gotta get Mr. Johnny Galvatron back.
Silverpants.
Some of the game guy.
And we gotta get Woody on as well. Woody was on the podcast, and I want to get Woody here, and I want to get Joe here as the whole Beethoven and Dinosaur team.
They'll
we should
fit
get
in this.
They'll
studio.
fit. It'd be so.
Put him in that
awesome.
corner.
Peter, your turn.
Is it?
Fable?
Did I put Fable first?
Fable.
Fable. What a fantastic trailer. Every
It
trailer for
is.
this game so far has been amazing because they're just they just are nailing the humor that we know and love of this series. And I think that was the thing that people were most concerned about when Playground were given the IP to build off of, and they've successfully hit the mark with every trailer. This one is great because it shows us some gameplay and it shows us a little bit more about that character that we've seen in the past. Why are they so ugly these days? All these lead characters are so ugly, aren't they?
It's like, brother, you'd fuck a sandwich.
It is like that.
Literally. It's like,
is like that.
you'd put two sponges in a cup and then put a
Okay,
glove
okay.
between them
Stop
and pull
it.
them over, and you'd fuck
Josh,
that.
put it on the wall. Put the sandwich on the wall.
No.
I fucking
Ruby.
I said.
I love how we've been introduced to this character. Obviously, it's a modern video game, so it looks great because that's what video games look like now. But it still is leaning into the literal fable, the fantasy, the legend, the myth, the kind of mythos of what Fable did so well, which is folklore and those nursery rhymes and
one
chicken
camera
chases.
sitcom style interviews.
Well, yeah, totally. The British comedy sensibility is still really heavily.
Super Hands.
So I don't know who Super Hands
It's
is.
Super Hands from Peep Show. He's
Oh,
the
it is
best. He
too.
smokes crack.
Yeah, it is too.
I haven't watched enough Peep Show. I obviously love
He's so
Mitchell
good.
and Webb and.
But between that and The Office, they do that. They coin that
Totally.
kind of that humor.
Yeah.
Big time.
To see what this game is going to look like in its third-person camera. I know some of this is in-game footage, some of it isn't. It's revitalized my hope for what this will be.
Am I right in when I watched this, I might have got it wrong. The idea is this character is telling the story of someone terrible, and you're seeing flashes of this main female protagonist thinking he's talking about her, and then she steps into the back of that shot there and says she's here, and then you get this extra little shot here of someone else that they're greeting. So in my mind, it was a bit of a bait and switch of him talking like he was talking about you as this like dreaded character, and then it was a
Potentially,
twist.
but-
I might have misread that, but
Yeah,
that's what
I
I got from it.
I think he was just, doing that thing where he was kind of like, he was just telling a story
Sure,
and being elaborate and.
They kept referring to a female character and showing that
Yeah,
main
yeah, yeah.
character, so I'd kind of made that jump. But either way, I like that it's
To me, it was that's the moment where David Beckham leans back into the room and goes, "Your dad owns a Bentley," or whatever he said. in that,
What was your dad's first car?
yeah, where that was just like the interview is this artificial thing, and she was getting talked about, and she walks in on him.
Yeah.
Spinning bullshit, and he's like, "Oh shit!" She's
But that
here.
final shot, I might be wrong, but it feels like surely they're gonna bring an old Fable character back, right?
I wish I remembered any.
Yeah, I really don't remember any character that I'm like
Cleese
dying to
was
see
in
again,
one.
except for the dog.
Yeah. And the syphilis.
My 2 wives who left me because they met each other.
And the syphilis.
I married every woman that I could in that like nasty town, the one where all the prostitutes were. I went there and I married literally
So you
every
were their
woman,
pimp
and
by
then
the end of it.
I just put them in their own houses,
Yeah,
and
pimp.
they all seem pretty chill with me.
Nice. How many STDs did you get?
None.
Interesting.
I will
They all
protection.
cancel each other out.
You can get condoms in that game.
Fable told me that it doesn't matter
Yes.
how much cake you eat, as long as you eat celery as well, you'll just be super skinny.
Yeah.
Skinny.
Write that down. My game or trailer that I want to talk about was Wonder Stop. I'm going to get that wrong every time. Wonder Stop looks like a cozy style game from, I believe, Davey Redden, who worked on or who developed the Stanley Parable. There you go, from the creator of. Can we get a bit of audio with this one? Have you guys seen this?
I'm a fighter.
Steph, have you seen
I'm
this?
meant to be in the arena.
Oh
In
yes.
Oh, I
combat.
don't think so.
So I'll narrate a
Instead,
little bit.
I'm out here in the middle of the
She's a
woods.
warrior who started a
running
job
a
at a
tea
tea
shop.
house.
So,
So it's a cozy
what
game?
does running a tea shop involve? Well, there's a lot of gardening.
And it looks like you're
I've
doing
had to
all
get
the
used to
stuff
the
that you
pretty
would in
unique
these cozy
condition
kind of
they've got here.
games. Very
None
cutesy.
of these tasks are all that
She's a
hard.
little
They
at
just
odds
take
with it all.
patience.
We're going to find out that her
Well, I'm not
husband
really the
isn't actually
patient
dead
type,
and that her grandmother
but I'm
has the
surviving.
information about where he's been hiding this whole time.
Of course, I
Not
have to
quite.
actually serve.
But there's definitely something about her like not
that's
gelling
done,
with the world she's in.
usually
Even
check
this
in
main
with
character, the one
the
who
guy who
owns
owns
the
the
tea
tea
house,
to see
every
if
this
my
thing
help is
seems so
needed.
lovely. And this character's just a
When all
little
the
lost,
chores are
trying to be
done,
like, how do I fit in with this
sometimes I'll
coziness?
just
And
sit
the
on a
trailer
bench
leads to here.
and do absolutely nothing. It's not fighting, but it's peaceful. And what's weird is that I actually feel good. I'm happy. I can stop running now. I can stop. I can stop. I can stop running. This is good for me. I need to enjoy this. I feel good. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy.
Nice face, man. Still here.
Oh no.
I just this absolutely yes, it's got the twist of it's not what you expect, but the idea of having a character that just cannot seem to enjoy the cozy, happy
I know,
part of their life. In this case, a video game part, like done through a cozy video game, which there are a lot of at the moment. I just thought this is a really fascinating spin on that kind of genre.
Yeah, and very meta as well. That we put like
Totally.
video game characters just like exist to kill shit, and it's like your only job is to kill stuff, and she's trying to.
But
she's
now we
trying
have
to-
characters that your job is just to be super happy and live in this wonderful little world that I'm going to project on you and be like, this is how I feel joy of just like letting you have this little run a village.
Ellie on the ranch, man.
There it is.
It's Ellie on the Ranch, but it's. I mean, I don't think it's that novel a concept of dark, twisted past coming back to haunt her. I don't think I would have been super excited about this game had it not been
Davey Redden. Yeah.
Davey Redden.
It's not just someone's found a hook and gone, the game is actually you make tea and then you fight some demons every day and that you just do that. It's duality in the gameplay. There's probably a few more advanced things under the hood in this game.
I'm just like so confident that the twist will be worth whatever the game is
Yep.
to experience their take on, because it will be this like reflexive thing of like you the gamer are doing this thing and what are games and what is this experience, and like that can sometimes work really well and sometimes fall short, but they have Davey in particular has a history of success of doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
Again,
love,
very
I
excited
love,
to see
I
what
love
they do.
when you play a game that makes you question what it is to play a game. I'm big into that shit. I think it's delightful.
Yeah, I just think going against traditional, like, there is a simple way to do this version of, warrior in cozy game. How do they not adjust accordingly? And I think someone like Davey Redden or that team potentially as a way to really catch you off guard. And so again, that trailer kind of caught me off guard, and I was like, all right, I'm convinced.
Yeah.
I want to play that cozy game, but I want to see what's actually going on under the hood. So that looked very cool. Steph, speaking as we did before when we talked about mixtape of Life is Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Life is Strange?
Life is Strange, the new one.
Double exposure.
Double exposure. a Max Caulfield adventure.
Max Caulfield.
So we're back to the OG Life is Strange character Max Caulfield and her time-bending hijinks and emotional trauma. This is awesome because what?
Gotta have that trauma in there.
Drama.
It wouldn't be Life is Strange
If
without
they
it.
don't use that clip
It'd have been life is
to
normal.
sell
Life is
this
plain.
game, their marketing team is doing a bad job. Look how sad she is.
She's so sad.
She's traumatized.
She is. This is such a cool concept because I think with the first Life is Strange, you had this time rewinding mechanic where you tried to change the events of the story by kind of going back and making different decisions, and that was such a great hook. In the sort of second Life is Strange, it lost a little bit of that when we didn't have that mechanic. And I think this is trying to go back to the core of what made Life is Strange so great, is wrestling with these decisions. It's that butterfly effect thing of trying to make different decisions that are going to affect the course of the future of these characters. And in this one, you're trying to solve a murder. But I think you're trying to, from what I understand, maintain two separate timelines at the same time. And so how you're going to navigate that is going to be really mind-fucking and interesting. But I love that is kind of what they're presenting you with this story. And I love that we get to go back to Max, and she's a bit older now, and she's obviously still got her time powers, but she's using them in a much more powerful way, which is really cool. And it just seems like a really cool updated version of Life is Strange, which has always been very kind of like very grounded in teenage experiences. I'd like to see. I'm looking forward to seeing something that's dealing with
It also
someone
felt
slightly older.
It also felt like a franchise that very quickly fractured off into lots of adventures.
Groceries are expensive is the next expansion to Life is Strange.
Yeah, there were there was a little boy with superpower cape, and then there was just a lot of characters in different areas that I was like, is Life is Strange like a franchise now more than a series?
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah.
Well, in my Making Gay Games Pocket Buds app, I was chatting to Pete. He made a really big thing of being like, I really struggle with the Life is Strange games because like I don't care about teenagers. I don't care about their stories. And so I think it's really cool that they're going for a more
Aging up.
They're aging up.
Yeah.
They're getting a bit more mature.
That's so interesting. I didn't have that because I feel like I still watch a lot of like teen stuff on Netflix and stuff. Like when I'm folding laundry.
Heartbreak High.
Yeah. I look all that, and to me, I think what makes teen
We
stuff.
watched different Heartbreak Highs.
They did a remake.
I know, but I was like, when you said it, I'm like, I think Steph and I probably watched the old one.
But did you watch the new one as well?
I watched a bit of it. Yeah.
I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah, it was good. I think what I liked about Life is Strange as a teen drama is that it felt like a lot of the time I think teen stuff feels very forced and overwritten and stuff like that. I think they did a pretty good job of like creating a teen experience that felt like reasonably authentic. They never really like fully nail it, but like compared to a lot of stuff that I've done, I think they did a pretty good job.
That looks like another serious one in the like sizable game as well, in terms of some of them have been a little bit shorter version.
Totally. I think it's evolved in terms of what they can offer as an experience just with the success of the franchise.
Much like sorry.
I was just gonna say, is this the first one that Don't Nod's not involved in?
No. There's been others.
There's been others?
Yeah, that Don't Nod haven't done. But I think the
They're
last
busy
one
doing,
the last one that I played that Don't Nod didn't do was better. Like it was good.
Oh.
So I think
What's the Don't Nod game that they released at the start of this year?
Open Roads. Did they do Open Roads?
We got too many trailers to get through to give
Banishes,
Banishes.
Which is great.
Much like the Crush House.
Oh, we're doing my one now?
I'm trying to move it
okay,
along.
so
We got heaps to get
first
through.
of all, happy 15th birthday to Volvi, my favorite character in all of game. This came out of, well, the Crush House is a Devolver Digital game, and the demo was dropped. It has been announced before, so I won't go too in-depth, too crazy on it. But the Crush House is a game where you play the producer of a dating show.
amazing.
And you have to, it's a first-person shooter.
What?
But you're shooting the dating show.
Oh.
There we go. Hey, and it's so goofy and silly, and basically you're job is to catch all the sexy, silly, kind of bitchy moments of this dating show. And
But you're just a one-man camera team?
You're a
you're a
floating camera?
one-man camera team.
Holy shit. That's a big job.
And you got to find everything you can. But all of the ads that have all the footage that's come out for this has been very much like, oh, it's crazy, it's sexy, it's funny, it's crazy, but it's also been like, but something's afoot. There's something going on, and I'm like, oh, I want to know. I want to know. There's never been a.
Is this made by Davey Redden?
It's made. Oh God, what?
Oh,
is the
okay, right.
studio?
So it goes a little. Hey, there's a dark twisted something.
Yeah,
happening
there's a
up.
dark
The
twisted
lights go off
something.
and the it's FNAF.
Oh, it's FNAF.
It's
That's
Oh
why you
fuck!
like
Moving
it.
on. Okay.
No, that was Furby.
There was something in a chair.
That's what the
looking
F
over
in-
security
Hold on.
That's
cameras
what the
with
F in
Googling.
FNAF
Oh,
stands for.
Furby Nights at Furby. That's
Yeah.
right. But cool thing, this one has a release date and it's very soon.
Ooh,
Nice.
August
You can play the
9th.
demo now.
Demo
I'm
now.
gonna stream the demo next time I'm streaming.
Cool.
Russian. Is that next Monday?
August 9th.
I'm not streaming next Monday.
Who is?
August 9th.
Josh.
Somebody else is. No, not you. God's
God,
streaming.
We all looked up.
Tune in and
That
get your
looks
life
very
changed.
appropriately Ruby, that
Yeah.
game. I look forward to seeing you play it. The other game I saw was Can, which is like, I think, the climbing term.
CAIRN?
Yeah.
Oh, like cans.
Cans, like, which aren't they the
Cans.
things they chuck in the rocks, potentially? Anyway, there's been a lot of rock climbing games recently.
That's made by a
thought
French
a can
studio
was
as
just a
well,
pile of
right?
I believe so.
A can
Toussaint.
is a pile of rocks, yeah.
Oh, it's a pile of rocks.
To
Oh,
mark
yeah.
a trail.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rock climbing games recently. There was Toussaint, which we played, or I talked about previously, which was fun and had some really cool physics to it. But I think from memory, it was like pretty much a no-fail game. Whereas I think this has added the fail state of it looks like a survival game on a cliff face. From the very limited story, it just seems like you are this lone climber moving up a space. But it does look like you've got the you've got to put the pittons in at different areas as checkpoints. But I feel like there's some dread in this. I feel like there looks to be a bit more of the survival element to it, which really appeals to me. You also look like
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
No way.
You're not climbing
You gotta keep circulation.
a cliff face.
You gotta keep
and
circulation
then
in your
doing
upper
push-ups
body. But
how are you
in
doing-
a tent on the side of a mountain.
How are you doing push-ups in a tent?
I don't know, guys.
There's
These are trailers. We don't
no
know
force
else.
feedback there.
This
Video
is so
games aren't real.
unrealistic.
It looks like a quap type.
It does actually. Also, the
situation.
thing that sings to me in this trailer is that seems to be some interesting physics going on with the limbs of the body. It doesn't just seem to be up to climb. It like maybe.
Oh yeah, those
maybe
legs
it's
went weird and spidery
They
for a
did
second.
when they fell as well, but
Yeah.
also a little bit of Death Stranding and like the big walks and the lots of negative nature spaces to go and explore. I love the idea of this, but again, Toussaint wasn't as punishing as I wanted. I wanted it to feel like survival on a cliff face, which is what that looked like.
And this,
so,
that looks like Toussaint meets baby legs.
Toussaint,
Baby
baby
steps.
legs, and Death Stranding. So,
Yeah.
but I'm all down for rock climbing games. There was a DLC.
Oh, we know, Gus.
There's
we
a
know.
DLC for a military shooter set in World War I where you're the Italians climbing. It's a shooter up a cliff face because it was.
That
a
was
real,
at the Summer Games first.
Summer Games first.
Shoot me on the cliff.
Oh.
We got one more to go each, so we'll power through this.
I got 2 to go. 'cause
He's
you
got 2 to
skipped
go.
Me.
The
Gears of War
bastard.
E-Day.
You do?
Yeah, man.
Oh, you bitch.
Gears of War E-Day.
Why am I the bastard? You cut me out.
I did. Gears of War a day?
A Gears of War E-Day keeps the Gears of War away.
Probably.
Maybe.
Is a prequel Gears game, and it was just a cool trailer, and it was reminiscent and quite
Mad World.
literally referencing Mad World, the initial Gears of War trailer. I didn't know I really liked Gears of War, but I guess I played all of them, so I was like, cool. It's cool to see Marcus Phoenix back and young and hot again.
Is it?
Yeah, because he got old and ugh, but now he's young and hot.
He
Look
was
how hot he
always
is.
ugh. This to
Nah,
me,
he's still
Gears
hot.
has always
Nah,
been
he's
the
a
ultimate
big
dude.
dude.
He's
for a
always
game,
been ugh.
man.
He actually does look kind of attractive in this. He's got a full head of hair when the bandana's off.
Absolutely, they're dude broy games. However, I will say this: because I've not been excited about a Gears of War game since the second Gears of War, probably.
Yep.
But I've played a couple of them since. But there haven't really been a lot of cover shooters lately. They were just Gears of War started it, right? It was the third-person cover shooter, and it was the third-person cover shooter, and then there were a million of them. Even Uncharted was a Gears of War game, basically. And look, a way better Gears of War game from a story perspective and most perspectives. But I'm keen to play a modern version of this game. Like, you know, for me, all of my games are from the Xbox Showcase, and they're all about nostalgia. When I saw this trailer, I was like, yeah, I could play another Gears game.
It's also, the Gears series very quickly took off and went hardcore into sequels that told the story beyond... I'm going to get it wrong. It's not Induction Day, Inception Day, Big Hole in Ground Day.
Yeah.
It was called... Immersion Day? Oh, I don't want to look at chat. I want to get it. It was called...
Emulsion is what they come from. Emulsion Day.
Basically, it was the day that the bugs of the locusts came up through. E-Day.
Emergence Day.
Emergence. Oh, we could have worked it out.
I cheated. Lord Phoenix told me.
It was in the title.
Yeah.
They talk about Emergence Day has happened and the locusts, arrive, and that's when it all goes crazy. And that's every game onwards. I'm sure there's been flashbacks. I'm sure there's been prequel moments, chapters in games. But to go, let's just go back to the most exciting part of it.
Yeah, and where there's like an actual human city still standing.
Yes, and the fallout of it would
there's definitely some interesting things in here for me.
They just skipped past it so quickly when they got on with their series. So
It's
I'm
like
just
you
like,
skipped past Peter.
just like I skipped past
Yeah.
Peter. Steph.
It was P Day and you missed it.
Aloft?
Yes.
What's that all about?
Well, I've just gotten really into survival crafting games with my group of friends. It's probably like our favorite genre to get into. We've been back into like V Rising recently, building our little vampire mansions and going out and killing bosses. We played a lot of Valheim. We've been playing a lot of Enshrouded this past year as well. And this looks like a really interesting take on survival crafting games. Because what I will say is, having played a lot of them now, you start to kind of get the sense that you kind of have seen it all before. You know how it all works. You skip the tutorial because you're like, I'm like too pro at this. And I think the exception to that would be that weird fairy one we played recently, which I didn't enjoy, but I appreciated the fact that it was
steampunky one.
Yeah.
Enshrouded?
No, it was called
Emulsion.
Fae Lands or something.
Fae Farm? No.
Anyway.
P5?
Nice, mother.
Nightingale. Not even close.
Oh, Nightingale.
Well done, everyone.
I forgot what that game was.
Yeah. I didn't enjoy it, but this looks really interesting and cool. I love the these kind of weird floating sky ships and stuff, and this very different environments, and it looks very. The building in it looks kind of snappy, which I'm not sure that I'm a huge fan of that, because I really love having the creativity to be like get into the minutia of building things, but I don't know what this is going to be like.
I love snappy buildings. Can you play it with me? Can we play this one?
Oh, if you love snappy buildings, you're going to love Lego
We can
Fortnite.
play this together.
Let me tell you what.
He never will.
This one,
He never does.
This one has me. This one is like a bit of Zelda.
It looks like Skyward Sword.
I will straight up play this with you as well. It reminds me a lot of this Australian game called Grow Song of the Evertree, where like,
I played Grow.
How good's Grow? It reminded me a lot of that when I saw this trailer.
Sure,
I'm
the verticality of it.
If you want to play,
I think it looks really interesting, and I think it's I'm keen to see what it does to put a unique spin on survival crafting, and especially with some of that sort of sky stuff.
Even just the gliding at the start is a gratifying way.
And Shrouded gives you a glider like super early on. That's the other thing that I would say that is interesting to manage, is that like how you kind of make the difficulty and balance the difficulty, because
when do you put the fun in, like, or when do you get the fun stuff?
Because you don't want to make it so grindy that you kind of lose interest in it, because you don't get cool stuff to make cool stuff early enough, but you also want to make it feel, like worthwhile, that you've worked hard enough. Yeah. So I'll be interested to see what the balance is in this game as well.
Ruby, Tempopo?
Hey, Diva.
So your games are just like random mouth sounds.
They're words.
My next game is Kupaba.
Probably is. What Tempopo?
Tempopo 6. So Tempopo is made by Witchbeam, who made Unpacking.
Oh, shit. Nice.
And it's their newest game coming out. I'm very excited for it. I played a bit of it.
The hell was Cactus?
Assault Android Cactus.
Never saw it.
I played a bit of it at PAX 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was the first and last time I played a Steam Deck. And it was a delight. But it was also a delight because this game was hella fun. And the best way I can kind of describe it, like making sense in my brain, it felt a bit Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, but with music.
Yeah, right.
And you're moving around these maps in time with them. Like it's hard to explain, but it was a really fun
style or not? But
Yeah,
maybe softer and easier.
I
It
think
looks like cuter and more fun than
It
like
looks
punishing.
grid or
From
yeah.
what I remember,
Grid-based,
it's grid based, and you've got like a set amount of moves you can go to, and it's all very musical. So as you move, music is happening. It's
Yeah, cool.
it's just so pretty. But this character that they've introduced, completely new, wasn't in the
Huh.
PAX demo from 2
What
years
were you in
ago.
the PAX demo?
You were just a little musical creature, which I think you still are. But there was no character.
Oh,
and
she's
you
calling
were-
on the Tempopo.
Yeah, you played as the
call on my
Tempopo, but she
Tempopo.
wasn't in it. And she's so cute, and I'm really excited.
She's the story.
This is just such a cute little game, and the music is so good. I'm pretty sure the music's done by the same person who did Unpacking, and I remember the music in Unpacking just being really nostalgic for a life that I never
It's
lived.
It's like a
Lemming-
marvelous machine.
It's
Yeah,
Lemmings.
yes.
It's
thing.
like plan it all out
Cool.
and play it all out kind of vibes.
Yeah,
Cute.
and it's a plan
sick.
a puzzle musical puzzle game of planning, and it's
Oh,
so
yeah, I like that.
delightful.
Yeah.
It's just it feels good to play.
Tempopo.
It
On
looks
your left.
amazing.
Feels good to say.
It feels good to say,
Give it a
and the
shot.
music is fantastic. Tempopo.
Don't say it like
Yeah.
that. That's
Tempopo.
so Tempopo.
Tempopo.
Peter?
Tempopo.
Tempopo. Tempopo.
Tempopo.
Tempopo.
That
And
does
this
look
was at
damn
the PC Gaming Show.
Hey.
Ayo.
Peter.
Mm.
My next game was Power Rangers Reader's Reward.
Bravo.
This there's not much to say about this. I loved Power Rangers as a kid.
Same.
Go Power Rangers. I was the Red Power Ranger. I watched the original
Cringe.
series. Yeah, of course I was.
Hooking
the
up
theme was
with
great,
hooking
but-
up with a pink Power Ranger.
God.
Love story for the
Is it
ages.
Kimberly? I can't remember her name. Who's
Until
just-
didn't he evolve into the white Power Ranger?
I lost
And then
track
they
by
couldn't be
then.
together because he had too much.
Don't give me the lore. I just was
Responsibility.
I was the after school cartoon.
At that point,
not
he was
cartoon,
banging
like
the
sort of
witch in
cartoon
the-
style. Just watch every episode.
Rita Repulsa?
Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
Oh my god. But yeah, this is nostalgia like crazy. Not only
That was
Power
Green Green
Rangers-
became one. There's so many fucking
fuck.
losers in chat, like schooling us on Power Rangers
We're gonna
lore.
crank the theme in the ad break.
I
and
met
you're
the
gonna-
Green Power Ranger.
God, it was so good. Yeah, they're going the way of Ninja Turtles with a arcade style brawler. But there's this kind of stuff in too, which is there's like 2.5D on top of it. This looks great. This looks so nostalgic, but both like in a gameplay style and also with just the brawler. And I finished Shredder's Revenge. I loved it. And when a good IP from something I love gets retrified like this, I'm all
looks
over
sick.
it.
You know
So-
what? I was always really disappointed when they had that, like, you know, when they transformed, they had this interim thing where they all became different animals before they formed the
And then-
giant thing.
yeah.
They never, like, stayed in the animal forms.
Well, they
long
had one
enough.
animation. They had that one animation done
Yeah.
in miniatures, so they just played that every time.
But then what's the point?
When do they ever get in them and like run around
Just
in?
do cool panther shit.
They were all panthers, weren't
There
they?
was like
They
one
all-
was a dinosaur, one was a panther. There was
Well,
another,
you know all the fight footage and all
one
that
was like
footage.
a pterodactyl or some shit.
all that fight footage is from another show that then got Americanified. Power Rangers got like invented using footage from those battle bot kind of things, along with.
And they were like, to sell to Americans, we have to make them high schoolers.
Yeah, I think basically all that stuff was shot separately and added on. I'm sure beyond
it?
that it became its own thing.
It
but
is
the original
crazy
series.
Sentai.
that show
There we
was
go.
just like a dude in a suit stomping around in a fake city that didn't look real.
yeah.
And we all just ate it up.
And it was the most formulaic show of all time. It just every episode was little goon that got bigger. All the putty guys come out.
totally,
Then
but
that
they-
one runs away, takes something that makes them bigger, and they go, "We have to form the." I can't remember.
But they put a love story in it, and that shit hooked me, man. It was
Voltron.
It's
Thanks
just
to
like
like
how
Voltron.
in Sailor Moon, when they brought Sailor Moon to Australia and to the West and put it I think 4Kids dubbed it. They had the 4Kids dub, which was insane. Like
Yeah.
they made Sailor Moon's best friend have a very strong Boston accent. It was crazy. But on top of that, they had Sailor Says, which was a segment at the end of every episode
remember
that had like a moral of the story.
like Captain Planet.
Yeah, it was a Captain Planet moment
Yeah.
after every single episode.
That was
And
that
it
was
how they
that was super
justified-
80s.
yeah.
that
yeah.
wasn't in Japan. It was
Yeah.
just
Yeah, right.
in the oh no, you're right, Pain Gamer. It's Deke. That was the name of the dub. Deke.
Okay.
DIC.
Remember, kids, if you pick up 5 pieces of rubbish each day, you can be helping our planet.
Yeah. Well, there were all those like PSAs
G.I.
from
Joe,
G.I. Joe and
Nat
stuff as well,
knowing, knowing is half
and,
the battle.
and then Sailor Moon's was like, "Don't talk to anybody you don't know." It's so awesome.
That makes sense. Peter rounds
Except
out.
that cute boy over there. That strange boy.
Power Rangers looks sick. Peter round us out with the perfect game to pick.
I will. She's dark.
And she's
And she's perfect.
Too dark. It's perfect.
It's
Was that
not.
a trailer or something? I reckon
It's-
in-game footage.
What?
Perfect dark, baby. It's goddamn happening.
It lives.
I'll
Simon
believe
Dine
it when
is
I
back.
see it.
Well, you're looking at it. Cool, reveal of what it was. I mean, the Xbox showcase this year is probably an all-time great.
It was ribbon.
All of my games are from there because I knew you guys were talking about some other cool stuff, but it was just fucking banger after banger. It was crazy. They've been cooking for a while, and it sucks to say how good they do it, like how good their showcase was when they've been like just sacking people left, right, and center.
It's the sort of thing
But-
where it's like it feels like they've brought out a banger of a showcase
dinosaur.
because they know another one is probably not going to happen anytime soon.
yeah. But they've been cooking, and again, the reason I really liked this was because it looks like an old shooter level-based game, and it just feels like that's not common anymore as well.
I feel like that's your thing at the moment. You're just like, I want to go back to when things were like a bit shit, but I like.
It's not about it being shit. It's just like design principle has changed a lot, and I feel like in some ways for the worse. Like
Core stuff is still good for like what it was.
totally.
And that's the thing. Like,
I like level-based games, and people are
Not
kind of throwing
everything
that.
needs-
Everything's open world, and everything's about like an
Yeah.
immersive storytelling thing. And it's like I understand that the technology can do that, but it doesn't have to. It can still be doing interesting things. I think Titanfall 2 is a great example of a level-based first-person shooter that was like, you know what? We can do a story in mission beats and do some fun tech stuff in between, but let's just go back to what worked, the classic
Gaming
stuff.
tech
And this,
adva-
I mean, has obviously learned a lot.
well, I was
from
going to say,
Titanfall.
gaming tech advances in a way that we sort of throw aside some of the core fun elements of games because we have to do what's new and shiny in advance. And you go like, it actually helps to go back to some of these core principles and go, this is what made these games fun in the first place. Build a game around that.
And hopefully these games that aren't trying to achieve absolutely everything in the entire world, being these open world games that are giant and you spend 100 million hours in them, hopefully, it being an Xbox game, hopefully going a little smaller will be good for them. And it means that they have more games coming out and have to lay off less people. How about that?
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
I
These
don't
small
know that
experiences
they've
are great.
I don't think, yeah.
will change their like crazy, like ruthless business plans, but yeah, I hope it's a just a fun reconnection with
looks
this
sick.
character. It looks super cool,
It
and
looks
again,
gratifying in every sense, which is,
Oh yeah, like the stopping with the shooting. Ooh,
yeah,
I love it.
yeah, it's just like style.
this is a bit
First.
crisis-y.
Looks a bit crisisy, looks a bit Deus Ex-y.
Yeah.
Um,
Ooh, Deus Ex.
Ooh,
indeed.
Deus Sexy.
It's very Deus Sexy, and yeah, I mean, again, it's just nostalgia for me.
How do you one last question? Like, Perfect Dark was basically a female Bond done with like a cool sci-fi setting that then quickly went into some aliens and stuff. Does it feel like going for what this is has some like global sort of weather crisis, and you're going to this weird jungle-like city? So, like, is that appealing to you, or is it just mainly just the fact that this character's back in?
Just the
new
character's
game.
back, and it looks like there's some level design kind of stuff back. And
Because I feel like the story's going to be shit.
oh, look, totally. I'm not attached to even the character really.
Yeah.
I'm just attached to that era of game design, and I think like ultimately Perfect Dark was a better version of the rare shooter on the 64 as well.
Totally.
Perfect Dark Zero was not particularly good, but as Multifish pointed out, like it was one of those like something that game did way back then that Rare were doing that most modern shooters don't do, is putting objectives in the map that are optional but also just ramp up the difficulty and make playing through those missions,
Replaying through
kind of you're replaying through them, but also you get the choice of how hard you want to make it while you're there as well.
Yeah.
It's kind
And
of
Nickname
interesting.
making a really good point as well that Crystal Dynamics being involved in this game might make sense of the Deus Sexy vibes.
Oh, yeah.
you know?
totally, yeah,
Very sexy.
absolutely.
Very sexy.
Bunch of sexy trailers. Some of those games coming out sooner than later, so we'll definitely be revisiting them either in what we've been playing or maybe on a stream. So keep your eyes peeled here for that. But yeah, heaps and heaps of other trailers worth checking out as well. Those were the ones.
Shouts out to Screenbound really quick. That shit was cool. Look it up.
Go
end.
Screenbound. They were trailers that we looked at in a segment called Trailer Long Weekend Thursday, whatever day it is.
Perfect.
It's a trailer.
It's a trailer long
Park.
weekend.
We looked at games. We're going to play some games, but that is after the break. Stick with us. Oh, yeah, she gets really scared by stuff. I forgot. Oh, this could be fun. Why did we turn up at night? Let's go over here. Cable, cable, cable.
Don't fucking do that.
So
Sorry,
easy to scare
sorry.
her. Let's get the scare counter on screen. That's 2 already. It was just me running, Ruby. That goes as 3.
Welcome to Rambley's Railroad.
That's 4.
Ooh.
See, now I'm starting to freak out. Okay, well, there was a genuine scare there. We're both jumping there.
Aw, you finally hit one.
Punk. When you know it's time to mix business with bizness. Punk. When you play 7 instruments, each one like the love child of Yo-Yo Ma and Santana. Punk. When you're 1K from having a really problematic logo. Punk. A fragrance for men. Because you deserve to smell like a tin whistle.
We almost were at the end of the song and we're like, let's
Good night,
come across.
everybody.
It's like, we're not ready.
Good night.
She stole my chair.
Steph had her chair stolen, so we're doing this now. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking through the outbreak. We saw Phoenix 93's Lickin' Rocks. We saw the playback. That is live on
It's
the
so
YouTube
fun.
channel.
That was
It's such a fun video.
It was a very fun video. Indigo Park. That was Ruby and I playing Chapter 1. It's on the YouTube channel, the full playthrough of the playback.
Yep.
Yeah, it's 25 minutes of gold. If you want to see the full uncut one, you need to be at the appropriate Patreon tier. 25 minutes was
16.
Oh, yeah, it was 16. The full playthrough is like half an hour, but maybe longer. Anyway, you can go and check out the full playthrough, which has got all the jokes that you won't let see on the YouTube channel. It's heap of fun, though.
And we got to play chapter 2 when it comes out
We
together.
do, with old Nazi Walt.
And Lionel, your favorite.
My sexy tiger that I chased around. Lion. Lion.
You called him Lloyd.
What?
I called him Lloyd.
Lloyd, the sexy lion.
He was a big sexy lion in a suit that I was chasing around.
Why was he sexy?
When the
if I need to
when the
explain.
hunter becomes the
Why was he
hunted.
sexy?
Yeah, he was trying to scare me, and that's I realized a kink I have.
Oh, sure.
That's cool.
I can respect that.
Anyway,
Okay.
been here since 8.
We also saw an Ava slow pong. We got a little bit more show to go. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it.
It's the relaxing part.
This is very good gameplay.
It's a very good gameplay.
It sure is. From Summer Game on the internet. This is brought to us by the one and only.
She just made the most irritated sound.
Oh my god. Dump Days. Thank you, Dump Days, for
There it is.
sponsoring the segment. Apologies for the distraction. Dump Days, the master comic artist. A comic is what they call comedians now as well.
Yeah.
Comic artist.
That's dumb.
Cartoonist.
Cartoonist.
Illustrator.
Magnificent cartoonist. Let's see the latest magic from Dump Days. 4 panels, apparently. That's a lot of panels.
Hey, I know who that
Peter,
is.
do you want to be
Wow,
the one
a
that looks
blue
like
shirt.
you?
That's me. I'll do that.
The shirt's really blue.
Who is wearing the toe shirt? Is that Will?
I think that's Will. I'll be Will.
Is it Will?
Do you want to be you?
Little Mo? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'll do my best me voice. I need to exercise my dog, but I'm not sure how.
Maybe take them to the lake for a swim.
He edits what you were on. Be
I-
careful.
Are you crazy? There are ducks at the lake.
Okay. Huh? Don't you have a purebred Finnish Lapphund?
She's not purebred dog. She's a purebred dog.
It's that fourth panel. It all relies on that fourth panel.
There she is.
Yeah.
As edible as a bun from the oven.
She's like the Pokemon bred dog. I forgot what it's called.
Oh, there is one, isn't there? A
Yeah.
corgi? The corgi
Yeah,
bun dog?
it's got the big. It looks like Scotty actually.
Doesn't look
No,
like Scotty.
that's a
Looks
lie.
like a corgi.
It looks like a. Oh no, the corgi's the electric one. Then there's the bred dog, which I think is just normal version.
Red dog.
Fido.
Okay.
Fido.
Not rock rough.
Get it?
It all makes sense. Very good gameplay is coming up, and we have a climbing game just for Gus.
Fucking yeah.
It is a 2-player co-op climbing game called Surmount, a mountain climbing adventure.
I wanted to play this a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it looked awesome.
Yeah.
It only
really
came out
keen.
like a month and a bit ago.
Yeah, it's very new.
It launched. It's a $15 like physics platformer with a little bit of like the co-op craziness going on in it. Came out in May this year.
There you go.
I'm gonna go and flick a switch because the remote's not working in the new studio. Remotes don't work in here.
That is weird. Yeah, there were a couple of party games we looked at to play. There's some classics.
Co-op mode?
There's a co-op mode, so we're gonna go straight into that. And I assume Peter and I are gonna try a climb and see how we go well as climbing partners. We're business partners, and now
And climbing
we're
partners.
climbing partners.
to
Let's
press
see
the
how high
button?
we can take this roller
Hang on.
coaster.
Or
And
turn
now-
You just went to
now
single
you're
player
in
mode, now you're in
single
co-op
player
mode.
There we go.
All right.
Why is it cropped off the edge a bit on
Yeah.
this?
There's a
work it out.
story.
Oh, you
can
hate
I read
story.
it? This is Mount Om. It's the largest mountain. It attracts thousands. But no matter the approach, no one has ever. It's
Surmount.
I just fixed this last week and now what
Game
Okay,
on.
let's do it. I'm green haired.
Game on.
Ooh,
I'm on the left.
LB.
So it's just oh.
Oh.
What is this non-traditional climbing style?
I think you got to swang.
So you hold
Eyes
with the
closed,
hand
just
and then
swanging.
you can. Oh, holy!
Wow.
I'm well past that tutorial.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm holding with one hand.
And then with you can get some momentum, then let go.
I didn't.
And
get,
just on.
I didn't get much air at all.
Who's who? Sorry.
I'm the one succeeding over here.
Are you red hair? And,
I'm in
and
the
Pete's
top right.
green
Pete's-
hair.
I'm losing. Can
I just really
just
win?
pull me in? Yeah.
I don't think I can.
God, this is like touching the void. Just cut the rope, Gus.
Rotate to swing yourself.
I'm just gonna
and
walk. I'm just gonna walk it.
I'm running out of health.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'll just walk.
Oh, what? Help me!
No, I'm walking. I'm walking.
Wait, can you
there.
pull me? Okay. Don't think we actually can pull. I think
Have
we're
you
just.
just lost half your life?
I think I did.
It's because you were fucking
Energy
around.
or life? Oh yeah, like
Energy, I
yeah.
think.
Okay, so it's get to a point and oh god, and rest. Yep.
That's what happens with too much scrolling
Yeah,
around.
you used it all, so you've lost it.
You
How
went
did you
too
do
soon,
that?
though.
What do you mean, just walk, mate?
I can't. It's not letting me.
I'll drag you.
Please drag me.
Jump using A while you're on the ground.
Hold it to jump high. Oh.
Bye.
Wait for me. I'm the best
Bye.
climber.
That's weird because you're pretty low down there.
Alright, here we go.
Just walk semi-vertical, mate, says Weblord.
Yeah.
Why is it staying on Gus when I'm clearly way ahead?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think because he's
Everyone
player
loves an
one,
underdog.
right?
What is this?
Player none, more like it.
Okay, wait. You can just use left, right, and
Hurry up, please.
a little bit of this. Yeah, okay, I'm coming. I'm working
Yep.
it out. I'm working
Yep,
it out
yep.
here. I've got to ask the guy for the tutorial. Excuse me, can I get the tutorial as well? Thank you. It really has just left shit.
It looks like my character is just standing on the side of the rock taking a leak.
Can you not pull him up?
I think so.
We might learn that we can.
Yeah.
at some
Okay,
part-
here we go.
at some
And
point.
up. We've got mid-air control too. Here you go.
There we go.
Nice work.
Thank you. Okay, back together. Climbing buddies.
Hello.
Talkie talkie.
These dark rocks are a real bother. Smooth, can't get a proper hold. Okay, so you can't climb the dark rocks?
Wait, and you can these ones? Oh! Holy shit, look at my move!
Oh, that was like Spider-Man.
Yep. Right, okay, we can climb this stuff too. Excellent, excellent.
Oh! You just pulled me towards that.
I don't know how I did that.
Yeah, I want you to learn.
Alright, and...
Can you shorten the rope at all?
That must be what we're doing. Oh. Oh, pull me! Thank you.
I put other thumbstick?
Yeah, it looks like you're like reeling in the line.
Can other thumbstick?
And let me try. I'm gonna get up here and try
Yeah,
and really
It's a bit
me
like the unravel mechanics,
Ready?
you know?
Yeah,
Unravel?
yeah.
No.
Unravel 2.
It's not... I don't know if it actually...
It looks like you're tightening it.
Something. There it is.
Catch me!
It's such a good mechanic.
Yeah.
Okay, up, up. We can just climb these.
But that looks... Is that mossy or is that just grass?
I don't know what we're doing. This is perfectly...
Where are we going, Gus?
Up,
Why do
Peter.
you like climbing games so much?
Because I can do things like this. Oh, God. Thank you. Why did I lose all that
Monkey?
health?
We got there.
You guys would be shit on The Amazing Race.
Yeah,
Huh?
that's true.
You feel like you're being watched.
We would be at the airport in...
Those are those tasty things.
Those are those tasty things. Everyone trying to pinch them.
A treat?
They're good, aren't they?
Mini rice cakes.
Mind if I do? Thank you.
Stephanie? Would you like to play some climbing?
Ruby,
I guess.
Let's climb.
prove you're better climbers than us.
Just just the
boys.
left and right bumper. And then the left thumbstick. You're like, bloop, 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 bloop. Climb your way up. Easy as that.
Skip the
Go
story.
climb it. You
Story,
can
skip
let's,
story.
let's see. Oh! What'd you get hit by?
Got
A
domed.
magic monkey shield.
Got some spiritual head.
Hurry back down. Just jump.
Oh, I forgot who was who. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
I thought you said the
Reel
bus.
me
They said the bus is leaving. We're gonna go.
You can't leave while
Reel
you're
her in.
I'm coming.
Look at you pulling the door open.
Let me.
We gotta go.
Forget this bitch. Let's just go home.
I'm coming.
Imagine the bus just drives off and just falls you off the cliff.
Okay, bye.
Nailed that.
I got a climbing game.
Who else wants to go?
Okay. Okay, new freaking climbing. All right, we good. Or do we go this way? Okay, I see.
Oh, is there gonna be a story?
Give it. Climb.
I've noticed we aren't connected by a.
Ooh.
Okay, maybe we need.
hold on.
You're not tethered.
Oh, am I on his head?
Yeah, you're standing right on his head.
Only town lets you climb
Oh,
anywhere.
okay, I see.
Oh, you're in the hub zone and you can just climb around in the hub.
I guess so.
Oh, you're being those really pesty French people who climb buildings and like stop people working for the day because they're like
the parkour people.
It is
I
always
was like,
French
oh,
people.
we went and parkoured.
Press down L to shorten the rope.
They're like, Michel Foucault did this in the 30s and they want to
That-
do it again.
I'm like the real life Spider-Man. I'm climbing up your office building.
The
Oh,
buildings
you
are
all
bigger
have to
now.
go home early.
Okay, I see.
This is wild.
I see. Oh, wait.
Oh, Ruby, you're the
Let me
first.
just-
Oh.
Those things kill birds, by the way. So you know.
Oh,
So they're net negative for the environment?
According to Trump.
Okay.
Oh, I did not let go at the right time.
Oh,
What is happening?
The story
come
continues.
on. Okay, we're climbing.
We want to go to the mountains, Gandalf.
Mountains.
Climbing permit. Another wave of tourists. Will I ever find someone to help with my research?
Oh, we're going to be researchers. Climbing researchers.
This is,
We're just
this
gonna
is
collect
speed
valuable
story.
climbing data.
Yep. Okay. We're helping. We're research. Climbing permit.
Who graffitied in the wall there?
Here's the deal. I
Yeah.
think that is poo.
And then they
I
drew...
can tell by the stink lines.
Oh, someone drew with feces next to it.
Holy shit, that's the mountain?
It's like upside down up there.
Who was talking?
It does seem mysterious.
Oh my
Black
god.
Pocket turned into a Margot apologist stream so gradually, I barely noticed.
Where? When? Huh? When?
So you barely noticed as well, and you're part of it.
Mountain.
I've never said anything of that sort. I think
The top
America's
is that
always
way.
been bad.
All right.
Go, race the top. Who's got green here?
Look at you guys roll. I think Steph's
I think
green
you
hair.
kind of hand over handing, so
Yeah,
the like
yeah.
whole body rotates around.
Oh.
Keep on going.
Oh. Okay.
Almost there.
There we go.
Nice.
Okay, can you practice
Nice.
the reeling in? Who worked that out?
Oh yeah. Here, I'll show you.
Don't get
Hold
to
on.
zero.
Hold on.
Steph, like, go now.
There you go. Okay,
Nice.
let's just chill for a sec so you can
Well done,
keep
well
your
done.
full pineapple.
It is like a golden circle pineapple ring, isn't it?
You jump to the other side?
Soaking in a tin of sweet syrups.
Oh.
This is where the cooperation comes into play.
Okay.
He has an alias.
Now we're gaming.
Oh, we gotta get through those
Oh
rings.
shit! Oh shit! Oh
Reel
shit!
him in, reel him in, reel him in!
Roll me in. Okay, thank you. Okay, so
Well done, everyone.
so.
Can you get in that
Oh,
slip?
jump
we
on
gotta
my
jump,
head!
we gotta
Jump on my head!
jump.
Jump on my head!
Wait, hang on.
You can grab that white. You can grab the
You
white.
can grab
bit.
the white bit at the
Grab
back
the white
there.
bit. Just jump up and hit.
Which rings are you trying to get into? You want to go up to the right, right?
Oh! I'm stuck.
Hold A to jump higher.
Can you grab that?
And
No,
then
maybe
grab.
not. Maybe it's in the background.
Oh,
Oh, diva!
Oh.
Oh no!
reel him in, reel him in.
Oh no!
Nice. All right, jump across.
Too much.
Whoa, too much
Reel
reel.
him in.
Reel me in, reel me in.
She got too real there.
You might need
Your
a.
head is in the rock.
Physics.
Yeah, nice work.
Physics.
Your head is in the rocks.
Okay, you might
You
need
could
a.
probably
Can
climb
you
from there.
swing?
Yes.
Cut a free.
Can you swing a little?
Yeah, nice work.
Can you swing? How do you swing?
You
Oh, the thumbstick?
hold one bumper and then you
Okay.
spin the thumbstick. I think
There
you, can
you
jump.
go.
Oh, nice.
Now swing yourself into that slipstream.
Yep.
Okay.
You gotta. You
So
gotta.
s-
Around. Other way.
Oh,
Other way.
Aggressive.
I wouldn't go over, I'd
aggressive
go under.
clockwise
Yeah. And
movement
up.
there.
Oh,
Wrong rings.
Oh my god.
Wrong
okay.
rings.
Okay.
I feel like I'm a slinky.
Everyone loves a slinky.
I can.
Slinky, go.
There we go.
All right, teamwork. Let's go.
Okay, 1, 2. One. One.
Now. Now.
Oh shit! It's fine. It's fine.
You got popped. Oh. Oh, what's his climbing game? Body's climbing game? Getting over it. Getting over it.
Yeah, getting over it.
It's powering back up again though.
It is taken off though as a little genre though, rock climbing. Always been going side scrolling. Should have been going up scrolling.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
And
And it's because it's such a scintillating viewing experience.
Oh, it is quite the spectator sport.
I keep forgetting what hand is
You
which.
motherfucker.
There we
Just
go.
fucking go.
It literally translates to your hands.
Yeah, but
If you're holding the left one, it's left.
But
If
you
you're-
flip upside down.
I don't know what you're talking about, actually.
Someone reel in that one who's
I'm
stuck.
trying. Okay.
Okay, just catch your breath.
Okay,
We're
okay,
back
we got
here
it.
again.
It's good that we can still hear John.
Okay.
The true joy of this space is
But
John.
does jumping in that stuff do anything? I think
I think you
just
need
jump
to swing
across
up
to the
through it.
brown.
Yeah. Just go across there. It's just like collect a point.
Go brown and go to. Oh my god! Oh my god!
I'm scared.
I've done something that you guys can't see, by the way.
Oh,
That's very good.
Josh is fucking with our green screen.
Did you take us to Brown Town?
No, God, no. It's good. You'll like it.
It's taking us to Brown Town.
Don't look up the show, guys.
What else am I meant to do? Watch this?
What's this? Fucking rubbish?
No, they're doing it.
What do you mean they're doing it? That's good. That's positive.
That's what you wanted?
Hooray.
Oh, right.
Why'd
No,
you say
you said
no?
no. They're
Oh,
doing
wait, it's a
We-
sign.
Listen, we just didn't get the rings, but that's okay. We're going up
Ooh,
the other
get
way.
yourself an
Oh,
anchor.
TTT.
Ah, it's a Jusson. I mean a piton. I mean it's a caveat.
Okay.
Why are you flying so high, Seth?
Because I'm a fucking badass.
You are, apparently. That's magic.
I'm gonna lose my
You're
energy.
learning.
I got a ring.
Yours is almost all gone.
Swing, damn it.
Swing, swing, swing,
Oh,
swing.
I didn't go.
Everybody
Oh,
got to swing.
okay.
That's
I'm
it.
chill.
That's it.
Ooh, now you're swinging with a swing.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay, let me just... Okay, you can
Something
chill.
to that
You
There's
can rest.
something like
Rest
that.
on
No,
your,
I'm nearly there.
You can
You're
rest
gonna die.
on... Oh, no.
rest on your piton.
No rest for the pitons.
Oh,
What? You literally died.
how do you die?
Hand it back.
All right.
Why do I keep saying literally? Thank you.
All right, let's do it.
Hello, Snug.
Oh, fell down.
Shouts out Snug in the chat.
Reel me in.
If
I
you
got hit by a
haven't
falling
listened to
crab?
the Poker Buds
Oh, I gotta-
episode with
I gotta get
Snug
my
Boy
health
yet,
back.
I got it.
you
I got
should.
it.
It's really good.
What was reel in?
Thumbstick, left thumbstick. Pull down.
I'm reeling?
Yeah.
Can you get the fuck up here?
I can't for some reason.
Can you climb?
I'm like
Peter,
trapped. I'm trapped in the rock. I don't know if you're pulling me into it.
Peter, you're embarrassing.
My head was in the rock.
Okay, catch your breath.
Yeah, catching.
I'll become.
All right, I gotta jump over this fucking
Why is there
crab. Oh, why am I stuck?
What?
Stop pulling me into the rocks. I'm leaving.
No, wait, we can do this.
Alright.
And why is the crab?
Why am I so in that rock?
The boys are so much meaner to each other than the girls.
LaFordo, that's
life,
such a
isn't
good
it?
point.
can't
You know,
get up.
These boys really
It's
are
a
playing
societal
awful shit
conditioning,
for the
actually.
amount of sass they were using.
Why?
Why are
Having
we?
a great Tim? It's actually like a systemic problem that needs to change.
Yeah,
Okay.
boys need to be nicer. Yeah.
How did we even get past? I'm up. Get
We're
the fuck up.
Yep.
Yeah, we did it. We did it. We're awesome. We're boys.
I love boys.
I love boys. Up we go. Right, rest here.
That's something
Some
new
boys
I've
resting.
learned.
Resting boys.
Resting's for boys.
Resting for boys. Oh, no.
And you both love boys.
And
is what I'm
boys
hearing.
don't rest.
Climbing up the hill. We did it. We did it. I'm gonna go for a swing.
Put the thingy. Put the
Swinging,
thingy. Put the
boy.
thingy. Put the thingy. Thank
Put
you.
the thingy.
What is this? Do I do another thingy?
The next
Swinging,
season of The Boys has
boys.
just started, I'm pretty sure. Or it's next week. It's really soon.
Swinging boy.
Swinging
I'm super excited.
boys.
Grab onto the rock clusters to recover stamina. I can rest on a cluster.
Why would
Oh,
a
it came out
cluster?
today. That's
Swinging
right.
boy.
Have you watched any of The Boys?
Oh no!
You know what's going on?
I
I
love
got
it.
swung
I think it's
by your
fantastic.
boyishness.
I like it too, but
Can I reel you in from
I
up
find
here?
it very stressful.
It is very stressful.
I'm
It's
gonna
very
really-
stressful. But it's like,
Focus. Look at us.
I'm trying.
what?
Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought it?
Nah,
Oh,
me.
hey, you're doing great, sweetie. So anyway, The
Swing
Boys.
boy.
I like that it manages to be
We got too much rope.
crass and gritty, without
can't
feeling
see.
like it's forcing it.
Yeah, swing.
I do find that like shock value violence just sometimes just gets a bit like. Like I find myself bracing myself before I watch it because I'm like, I don't know what to prepare myself for, and I find that a very uncomfortable feeling. But I enjoy the story, so I push through it.
No, that's fair. Like
Can we swing?
I'm pretty good
I'll
with
swing first.
gore. I wasn't for a very long time, but then I got a lot better with it, and I
Swing and jump.
I loved it. I love Gen V, and it's such a shame because one of the main characters from Gen V, he like just tragically passed away.
Oh no.
And so I think they're trying to like figure out what they're supposed to do with that now. Because
so
it
getting into the
is
world
amazing,
worlds,
right?
It focus up, please.
You want to take it somewhere
Yeah.
else?
Getting into the whirly worlds.
We have got extra health, whirly whirls. We're like just two happy swinging boys, and we're no longer fighting.
It drives you all the way up.
Well, you know what? You know what? I feel like us not paying attention made you stop fighting. Because I think you were just fighting to show off a little bit, because that's what boys do.
Like, do you remember? You know how like when you're like just with your friends and you're just kind of like, you know, it's just like playful banter where you're just like insulting each other and stuff. And I was like, no.
No,
It's like, you know, when you just like just playful like ribbing of each other and stuff. And I was like,
no,
I was like, no, mostly my friends just like say nice things that are encouraging and we support each other.
It's all lies and bullshit.
Yeah. Oh no,
it's not.
Fighting each other's egos, and it's all false.
No, that's
No,
bullshit.
it's
that's,
true.
That's
Actually-
the real,
Pathetic, and you should hear it.
that's the real bullshit.
you're wrong,
Peter.
because literally
That's the
all
real
my friends
bullshit.
are hot and sexy and smart and funny. So like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you're back already. I see you brought the flag.
I think
Well
this
done.
game is turning you into beautiful women who love each other.
Slay.
Boring.
You're all my friends.
Your flip.
I mean, we climbed it, so are we happy that we climbed it?
Yeah, I don't know that there's much more of this game I need to see. But
You've got to met a lonely boy on a bench.
I do like it as a two-player co-op game.
It's actually quite fun.
It's very cute, and I like the wrapping, like all the dressing of it all, like
It's very
this
cute.
little town.
I can push you
It's
around.
so pretty.
Look, I can just. Now I kind of hate everyone in the town. I just wanna
Totally,
climb.
I want to climb on them.
We can. Jusson.
Yeah, you. They said you can climb on everything in this town.
And we will.
It's the world's most climbable town.
Did it. Done it. Jump. Climb.
Okay, let's get to the top of town.
Okay. You've got a double
We
jump.
want to be the kings of the town.
I almost said something just now that my mum told me the other day, and then I remembered that if I did say that, it would essentially dox us, and so I'm not going to.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no doxing.
No doxing. But my mum told me something really interesting the other day.
Peter, how do I?
Seriously, you should know.
World's most climbable town lies.
Hey, I need to get up there with you.
It's not even climbable up here.
Yeah,
Actually, it is.
he can't pull you up. You're gonna have to do it on your
I'm
own.
a tiny. But I rely on Peter for all my support to pull me up on everything.
Aww.
No support, only insults. You're men.
You suck, dickhead. Get up here.
It's
And
working.
we come back.
It's actually working.
King of the castle. Look at you, puny, pathetic man down there.
I'm coming up. Oh, boy.
Coming.
I want the world to know.
I'm almost
to
on
let
the
you go.
screen.
I'm going to climb this pole. Oh, a balloon! Gus, there's balloons up here. You gotta get up here.
Trying.
You gotta see this balloon.
But Peter, wouldn't that victory feel more well earned if you had worked together with your teammate? And
No,
you'd
it feels
achieved-
better
and
'cause I
you'd
did it
achieved
by myself
success
and
as
didn't
a-
need
as
any
a
help.
team.
I'm coming to kill you.
Oh no!
And we wonder why there's a pandemic of male loneliness.
No.
Oh, a balloon!
No, wait.
I got a balloon! Bye,
and Gus,
loser.
exhausted
This
from
is a
all of
heavy
his
balloon.
effort to
Oh my goodness.
maintain closeness with Peter.
got an
Finally,
idea.
his fingers slipped from the edge and he said,
I've got an idea. I'm gonna.
but his words were carried away by the wind
Bye.
as Peter stood triumphant alone at the apex.
I think I'm floating away into space.
Oh.
Did you die?
I think you did.
Maybe I flew too close to the sun.
But we died as
Yeah.
enemies. Frenemies.
There you have it.
Jusson.
Just on.
That
Surmount.
that
was
Surmount.
Surmount.
A
And in the
mountain
time that-
climbing adventure?
A mountain climbing adventure,
That's
a two-player
right.
co-op, also plays single player as well. Probably actually a heap of fun.
It
when
seems like
you-
a really fun game
without
to
the toxicity.
play, like through in co-op, like for the story.
It's
Like-
definitely the kind of game that like
Like it
would
takes
be
two
fun to
types of
play in a
situation.
share house or with
Totally.
a loved one or like, you know.
An enemy, a frenemy.
That's it.
This is a share house.
This is a chaos
Yeah.
house.
May as well
In
be,
the
yeah.
time that Josh plays the very good gameplay thing, do you reckon you can switch the TV back?
Yes.
Josh,
wait,
that was
wait,
very-
wait,
Holy shit.
GC ran past a very expensive camera.
Like nothing ever
It'd
happened.
be so funny if he just played the theme and didn't actually play the card.
Oh, don't worry. We'll put the behind the scenes up because we have the isolated camera for that. So.
Lovely.
Amazing,
I made it.
incredible.
I made it.
Stall.
I'm stalling for sure. That was the show. Coming up next is the post show.
Shut
oh
up.
no!
Shut up. That's why I'm stalling.
And that's all the stalling I've got.
opposite.
I was just gonna take it, but I see why I'm stalling now. I see why I'm stalling. Because you've lost the thing.
It is.
What's happening?
It's a segment.
Wait, what?
Not segment. We've got a new segment because we've got a new,
We've got a new segment sponsor.
up at this tier. So we are talking about the post show, which is what happens after this show, where things get even looser, if you can believe it, in our new studio. We might even show you a little more about the place. We might even show you a little less. But we look at creative. We chat to the chat a little bit more. We fuck around with the green screen. We'll see what happens. Either way, it's a heap of fun. So if you're at the appropriate tier or above, you'll get access to that. You get that through a private link that's in the Discord. Join the Discord as well. And you'll see what you're missing, or at least the dregs of it, and be like, I should be in on all those jokes. There's the little shout to action there. But that new segment sponsor for the post show is, and Peter, as my fellow jouissant, Piton, what was it called?
What are we doing?
don't know.
I'm following you. Yep.
I was just turn around. Turn around more.
Bend over.
Bend over.
Oh my god.
What's happening?
BMAC.
Excuse me.
Jesus Christ. That was.
I thought you
Someone
were.
put a whip in there.
I thought you were
was-
going to pull
I
him
was-
towards you with your rope. And
Yeah.
then I was like, why are you pulling him from the butt?
With the
And I
ass
thought
Where
it was
is the
something
rope connected?
completely different. All I saw was you bending over and you putting a fist out, and that's all I saw.
That's pretty normal behavior.
And as is tradition, when we have a segment sponsored by BMAC, or I should say a new tradition, is we know BMAC well. And we know one thing that BMAC likes to do is recommend
Halo.
things. BMAC recommends. BMAC also writes reviews for a mix of movies, TV, on their website, which is tldrmoviereviews.com.
Nice.
So if you want to go there and read both
And he's
in-depth...
prolific.
You want to read in-depth reviews on things, but also with the wonderful little addition of a TLDR sort of short line. If you just want the top sort of takeaway from that piece of media, they've put a little one of them at the top of the website as well. So what I'm going to do is read you the TLDR of said film, and you guys are going to have to guess what film or TV series I'm reading a TLDR of.
Okay.
Makes sense? New segment, new seg sponsor. Hope you like it.
How good is this? Mitch said, "Oh shit, that's him." I follow that account and had no idea.
Oh,
There you go. There was
yay.
already
I love
some
that.
internal love going on.
And like, there is a lot to draw on here. Like
Yeah.
TV, like individual episodes.
Years and years he's been building up this database.
Heaps of stuff. I'll start with one. Okay. I've lost it, which is what's killing me because there's too many to scroll
Stall.
through. Stall
Coming up
again.
next is the post show. It's brought to us by our new sponsor,
Oh, here it is,
BMAC.
found it.
Okay.
Thank you. BMAC did a review for this movie, and their TLDR for it, and they gave it 4.5 stars.
Ooh.
And
Out of 5.
Out of 5. An absolute fun blast of a film that might not match entirely with history, but it wears all of its influences on its sleeve. And I'll give you a little clue, because that's really
Alien
vague.
Covenant.
No.
Oh,
It'll
I know
be-
what it is.
Oh, Gods of Egypt.
Can I get it?
Yes.
Oh, and I might be wrong.
You can guess.
I might be wrong. Is it Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
It is not.
Oh.
There is a mid-credit scene. I'm reading the other info about it. And I paid for the Apple TV Plus service that viewed this film.
Okay. It is the Edward Norton Hulk.
No, but it's an
You s-
Apple
it's
TV
an Apple
film.
TV. So it's recent.
It's an Apple TV film that was an absolute fun blast of a film that might not match entirely with history.
Oh,
You can guess again.
is it Napoleon?
It's not. It's a little more. Think what this show represents.
Oh,
I love this.
this show represents?
Halt and catch fire.
I think I know what it is. Can I
Josh,
guess?
please say.
Because I don't know. Gus, you watched him get it.
Bum.
It's Tetris.
It's the Tetris film.
The second Josh said I know what it is, I'm like, I know what it is.
himself. It is the review for the Tetris film. Not historically
B-Mac.
accurate.
No, it starts with that, doesn't it? It's like
This is not actually
What
exactly how this played out, but the names are correct, all that kind of
Have you
stuff
seen
as well.
Blackberry?
Yes.
That's got to
Bloody
be
good.
my favorite
Very,
one.
very good.
I
It's gotta
loved
be my
Blackberry. That was great.
favorite one.
Also, the Spotify story was good.
Oh, I didn't know there was one for
There's a
that.
Spotify
Yeah,
There
yeah,
is
yeah.
a
Watching all
heap.
this shit without me.
I
I'm folding
love
laundry.
the Uber one with Joseph Gordon-Levitt is fucking amazing.
Ooh, I haven't seen that one either. Either way, thank you, BMAC, for sponsoring the segment and now for sponsoring the post show. Do head to TLDR Movie Reviews for a whole heap of your movie and TV reviews as well. So we're giving you a little spruik there as well. But thank you for sponsoring the post show. That is coming up next. We're going to do our first post show from the new studio and enjoy all of the green screen shenanigans. Or maybe none. It seemed to stress Josh out a little bit. That is it for the main show for this week. Thank you so much for joining us, guys, on what was a very trying, but we're very happy we finally got everything in here. Very exciting to actually have the place up and running. Everything from now on should hopefully be back on schedule, so to speak, including things like our regularly done episodes of Pocket Buds, which means, Ruby, please use this little moment to spruik your podcast.
Hello. Next episode. Hello. Next episode, which comes out tomorrow, maybe a little bit late. I'll get to that in a second. Is the current state of the games industry.
Oh, must be good.
Yay! And I'm joined by Kelsey Gamble, who I love ever so dearly. She's a very good friend. She was at Bethesda. She was at League of Geeks. She's now at New Blood Interactive, and she's an absolute saint. Join me on the podcast to talk about how the game industry is going, and
you do it around a literal dumpster fire.
and we do it around a literal dumpster fire,
Fantastic.
so that's exciting. But it's a really good episode, really, really informative, and I think for both of us, just like a really great opportunity to just kind of vent about the things we love about the industry just as much as things we don't love about it. The bonus episode as well is I'd almost call like an extension of the main episode in the sense that it is a very funny story that she had from her time in the games industry that we weren't sure would get her sued. So we put it behind a paywall, and it's fine. But it's a really good bonus episode. Check it out. You have to be a part of the gold tier to get it, or the silver tier if you happy to wait till the end of the month. It's a really good ep, but it might be a little bit late because we've got normal Loki work to do. So sorry about that. But also
It'll be out tomorrow, but maybe in the Arvo as opposed to the
maybe
morning.
in the Arvo.
It's for your drive home.
Yeah, bingo.
There you go.
You'll already be caffeinated.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Listen
Lovely.
to Thumb
It's a
Cramps
great
in the
episode.
morning and listen to Pocket Buds in the Arvo.
That's how I do it. We're back in the tunnel, but yeah, do make sure you check out that episode. And if you haven't gone, check out some of the old ones as well. There's a whole heap there that Ruby's produced, so go through the backlog of the Pocket Buds episodes. The only other bit of housekeeping, Josh will be streaming on Monday, I believe. Is that correct, Joshua?
Yeah, Josh.
Hang on, let me try something real quick.
Oh, that's
Can we
always
see the
concerning.
creative on the wall before we go to pressure?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Just one as a treat.
It's Josh's turn anyway to stream, so I don't know if that was him saying he's keen to do it, but
I think
Hang
he's
on.
cooking something for right now.
Just give me 1 second.
fair enough.
He needs a second. I think he's nude and has painted himself in green.
In green? He actually just steps
So
out of the wall.
when he
That's
cuts back to
so
that camera, it'll just be the desk and a tunnel.
It's just the predator
Just a
moment,
tunnel
just the
entrance
eyes.
where he is.
But yeah, if Josh is doing that, we're putting up the game nights, which are the Monday night streams that we do every Monday night. We rotate around who plays a different game, and then we put them up on YouTube as well. I just jumped back into Resi 3, which I'm going to go back and finish. I'm really enjoying the remake of that, which is like from 2022 or something.
That was the rundown of the show.
Yeah. There we go. It's me.
Oh my god,
Wow,
it's
I
God
love
itself.
this.
Come over. Come over.
Come on, let me milk you. Oh my god.
Wait, let me. Yay!
No, come back, Josh, come back. Tell us, are you
come
streaming on Monday?
Eat the
sorry.
sign, says Food Time.
Come on.
Eat the sign, Josh.
I'm not going to eat this one. I don't know what I'm streaming yet. I got no idea. But I'll turn the channel on.
No one
we'll hang
cares.
out.
Eat the sign.
I'll eat the sign on Monday.
Yes! The stream can just be an empty studio and Josh just changing backgrounds and messing around with that. That would be just as entertaining.
It's too funny.
That'd be amazing.
No, I'll find something to play. We'll talk about it on Monday.
Nice.
Yep.
Lovely. That'll be on Monday, and then hopefully we'll have another playback soon coming out. The previous one was Indigo Park, as we mentioned. You can see it on the YouTube channel, and that's all the content coming out of us, for the next week.
It is.
That is a lot of content.
It's only so much we can fit in there. So
Yeah,
God,
gotta
right.
let it out.
We're at our excretion limit of content.
We're
Yeah.
immersion days.
Yeah.
Emulsion.
I took a few pills and now it's got to all come out of me.
Oh, God. Well, until that happens, that is our show for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. As I mentioned before, thank you to everyone who tuned in, and also a special thank you to everyone who supports us over on Patreon. We are a crowd-funded, viewer-supported show, so every dollar counts. Keep the lights on. Now we have new lights. So if you are not already supporting us over on Patreon, you can head to backpocket.gg for links to everything, including the Patreon. You can jump on there and support us at a number of different tiers, certain rewards, things behind paywalls. We've got merch coming up. There'll be new merch dropping shortly for people at that tier, along with all the content you get given every week early as well. Please make sure you can share the show with your friends if you're not already. Our socials as well, Backpocket Bids on all the platforms. Do make sure you share them, like them, comment on them. It all helps the algorithm, all helps us get where we need to go, which is the top of the mountain.
One flippy swing at a time.
Flip at a time. There's also links to everything in there, including our Redbubble store, our socials, the Discord, all that kind of stuff. We're back next week with maybe a guest or two, potentially. We might be rotating friends back on the couches. We'll let you know in due course.
I know who's in next week.
Okay.
Here's a hint. She's flying in.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a bird.
bee. Oh.
It's a plane.
It's an Italian woman. Just doing this all the time. Not caring for it. But yeah, please join us next week. If you're not joining us in the post show, which will be coming up straight after this. Until then,
Here's a little taste of what you'll see in the creative.
let's have a look on the big wall.
Here's a taste.
No, there's nothing. Hang on.
Join the Patreon to see more of this.
I'm trying.
Look
Here's
at
a taste.
that. It's
Let me
coming up
find-
next.
Yeah, it's gonna take a bit. Hang
It's
on.
that exciting.
Just 1 second and you'll see a taste.
We're gonna milk it.
You see a taste of it right here?
Just
It's
I'm
put yourself back on.
I'm
Eat
trying.
the sign.
I'm trying so
Eat
hard.
the sign.
Eat the sun.
You're just gonna see a
Show us
taste
the
of that.
creative.
There it is.
Hey!
Goodbye, everyone.
That's coming up and more in the post show. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Yeah, because none of this is set up. Thank you for watching, everyone.